Okay, there we go. What's up, everybody? Who is in this raid? What's up, Bill? Yeah, my face cam wasn't working, so I was trying to figure that out. Everybody's playing hardcore right now. And they're all like level 6. It's kind of funny. Everybody in my guild, anyway. Wow, you're level 7? Don't tell me what to do. Last time, Broke, did you die to something that was really stupid and out of your control? I haven't played hardcore. I don't really have much of a desire to. I thought about it, and then I was just like, I'm good. I'm okay. I think it would be fun for the first 10 or 15 levels, and then I'd get bored and wonder, why am I spending this much time leveling in a game where I'm probably going to die at level 26 anyway? What's Morladim? What's up, Belly Dot? You finally caught me live from EU. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I think a lot of people are watching hardcore right now, so might be a smaller stream than usual. Oh, a lead in the graveyard in Darkshire? That's unfortunate. Are you guys hyped for ICC? I'm super fucking psyched. Glad we don't have to listen to them complaining about boar ribs anymore. He was saying that for like 10 minutes. One of our guys could not find a skinning knife to save his life. It's kind of funny. What's the from Warcraft logs thing? I don't know if I never ever even heard why. Oh. Oh, what's up, hardcore roleplay? Just want to say thanks for your videos from save you from getting kicked from your raid group. Well, I'm glad you didn't get kicked. But that's awesome now. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, what's up, Sin? Everybody's playing hardcore. I feel like this is gonna be a late start to this raid. Wait, so hardcore, did they actually threaten you to get that you were gonna get like benched or something, or are you just being tough on yourself? Oh, wait, I don't have any music playing. Not that song. But hopefully I'll be streaming ICC next week. I think my guild's always had a rule about not streaming PTR. Although I think I streamed TOGC for a few days, but much different raid to ICC. So we'll see. Hopefully be streaming next Tuesday and Wednesday at the very least. But that'll be a lot of fun. I'm super excited for ICC. I can't wait. Get out of this shithole of a raid. I can't wait. It's like a small little jail that you can't leave, you know? You got iron bars keeping you in. There's a wooden gate that sometimes opens and you're always disappointed with whatever walks through it. Want to say thanks for the videos. I'm playing my first Shadow Priest. Oh, your first caster. Oh, that's awesome. Your guild has not dropped you from the raid. That's awesome. Congrats. That's always an accomplishment when you don't get kicked from the raid. Show my gear. This is just an alt, so like the gear is pretty bad. I haven't gotten much from 25 men. I think I've gotten a cloak, and it's only a 258 cloak. And these gloves, but like gear's nothing special. There's APOG. Oh, you're always a warrior tank. Wow. That's quite the difference. That's awesome, though. Shadow's a lot of fun. It's definitely tricky to learn. But once you do, it's a lot of fun. And it like everything you learn as a Shadow Priest carries over to the other casters too. If you ever try playing them, I feel like Shadow and Affliction are the hardest casters to play. So if you can figure them out, you can play like anything, honestly. You got a headache of the hardcore streamers just being like, oh my god, go, go, go. We have to collect boar ribs. Get the skinning knife. Come on, guys. You don't enjoy that? I was just listening to everybody talk in our own guild Discord. I'm just like, this sounds ridiculous. I didn't even play vanilla. I have no desire to play hardcore. If it was like different, if it was like, I don't know, if it was like classic with like wrath talents or something like that, I think that would be interesting. I have no desire just to play like vanilla. Layer 1 Elwyn Forest 5k players fighting over a kobold. Yeah. Apparently there's some night elf druid who is a level 9 that they were talking about, and it was because their starting zone was just completely empty because nobody went night elf, apparently. Are we missing a hardcore person? Oh, okay. Oh, hell yeah, I'm doing PTR. Trying to figure out my work schedule so that I can do like all of it, but it's really awkward that it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly Friday. Didn't really, the announcement wasn't really clear if it's gonna be Friday or not. But the fact that it's not the weekend just makes it more difficult for like everybody in our guild. So, but yeah, absolutely doing it. And that first Tuesday, going to be doing it, or I guess next Tuesday, probably for like 7 hours. We're going to start at 5 p.m. Eastern when it opens. Probably go to like midnight. So hopefully be streaming it. But yeah, I'm super excited for the raid. I hope it is hard. Like everybody's kind of hyping it up. The most cutthroat thing you've ever seen is hardcore competing to get the messenger in Westfall. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's super intense. New strats incoming. Well, the only thing, basically, I can stream the raid up until we start trying new strats. Like, I think the first attempts on every fight can basically show. But like, we get to like Lich King and we can't kill it, and we're like changing up our strategy and don't want people to see, that's when I have to stop streaming. So it'll depend how our progression goes. I would like to stream everything, but obviously that's not, I'd much rather help my guild out than stream it. But it'll be interesting, like, because like private servers don't have the tuning of abilities and bosses correct, so it'll be interesting if the strategies we use are from like what people used before, because like the raid released in wings like every 2 weeks, so you couldn't kill Heroic Lich King until I think you can even attempt him until like a month or like 6 weeks after the raid like first released. And then when they finally killed him, they had like multiple Shadow Morns in their raid and like a lot of 264 and 277 loot. So it's really hard to compare versus what people did in like 2009. I need a flask. But nonetheless, super excited. Oh, wait, we don't have. Yes, I'm swapping that. We're about to kill some kobolds. They're like we could be killing kobolds on hardcore, or we can just kill them here. Do you think people will still roll with only one Shadow Priest in raid? Until you get the 4-piece, probably. Like, you know, I don't know. It's really hard to say. Every guild's gonna operate differently. Oh wait, I did that way too early. Whoops. I think it's really hard to say what people are going to be doing, because I can really only talk about like what my guild would do. Oh, fuck. And we don't have like another Shadow Priest that we would include in Prague, or like we don't have a ton playing who we could even fill our raids with if we wanted to. I think if you have multiple very good Shadow Priests, you probably will use them, but that would assume you already are using them, right? Like, you're not going to switch up your comp. Oh, dude, another one? Really? So, like, I don't think anything's really going to change for Shadow until later in the phase. So, like, you get your 4-piece, and some gear from the raid, and that's what it's going to take for multiple Shadow Priests to be worth it, at least in the eyes of people who don't play it consistently, just like to the general public, you know? I think multiple Shadow Priests is definitely viable. It's just, you know, the min-max culture means it's probably not going to happen for most guilds. That was not a tick lost. God damn it, really? Oh, okay. That was actually good timing. Never mind. I take that back. Is Shadow Priest OP on Blood Queen because of the healing? I could see that. I don't think that would change like what we do for prog or anything. I mean, it might. I might be in a special group for whoever I'm healing, but. It's a little tricky with these gas clouds where to go. You motherfucker. Okay, good spot. Damn. Oh, don't fall off. Damn it. I missed it. That sucks. I wasn't paying attention to the timer on my Shadow Word Pain. That was solid for this guy. 9.3k. If she bites Shadow Priest first, passive healing. Yeah, but I don't think you want the Shadow Priest to get bitten first, because like you want to just kill the boss. Like, you'd rather have your Arcane Mage bitten first, or like just someone who has insane cooldowns. Like, I don't know if you'll use Arcane Mage on prog. I'm just saying you don't want your Shadow Priest to get hit, probably from like a progression, killing the boss as fast as possible. Now, if the fight is more of an endurance fight and not like a speed kill for progression, then you might be right about that. But since Armor Pen's coming back, melee's gonna be stacked hard. I mean, yeah, melee will be stacked, but like range get equally strong as melee do. I did get a big what the fuck last week when I used Dispersion when he charged me. Used Dispersion when he charged you. Got my last heroic tier yesterday. Hey, 5697. Hell yeah. That's awesome. You still can't part. I mean, if your kill times aren't as fast as my guilds, and can't really compare yourself. Like if you don't have a geared demonology warlock, which you probably do, but it's just like there are factors outside of your control when it comes to parsing. But ICC will be fun because if it is hard, the cool thing about ICC is if it is difficult, it will be less about parsing and more just about how well do you execute the fights. Like that's so much more important than where's that last? What is happening? I'm not moving. That was a super late. Oh my god, I moved when casting. Ah, I already fucked up this fight. I should have got 2. That's bad. That's really bad. I kind of messed up my opener on this fight, so don't judge me too hard. It's a volcano, 15 seconds. Yeah, prog and execution are super important. That's the cool thing. Like, that's why I think ICC is actually going to be like a really good raid. Like, it just, there's so much more that matters. Oh, it sucks. That was something. Some good AoE damage there. I shouldn't have BT'd there. 11.5k. Like, despite fucking up in the beginning of the fight, just because I got so much AoE, that was my best parse on this guy. Mind Flay is huge on this fight if you just let the ad spawn. $94.5 overall. I just want to be orange. I mean, you're so close to it. The thing is, a lot of these fights are kind of cheesy. Can Ice Howl hit your Fiend during charge? I don't think so. I honestly don't know, but I don't think so. Yes, and it's definitely more like retail, this raid. That'll be more true in Kata, but at least from everything I've heard, I don't know personally. But John, I mean, like, a lot of the fight, like, so Ice Howl's pretty fair. But like, if you get a snowballed, if you get frozen, if you can get a bop during the Ice Howl stun, that's big too, which will help your parse. Jiraxis, if you can AoE a bunch, that'll help your parse. Faction champs obviously doesn't matter. Twin Valks is hard. If you're not soaking, then that's really an execution thing. If you're not soaking and not parsing, then you just need to play the fight a little bit better. That's the one that's less cheese and just more of like, are you doing the things you're supposed to be doing? And then a noob is all cheese. Like, my 99 is soon not going to be a 99 just because we don't do a 2-minute kill. And I think my 99 is like a 99.2, which means that like at a certain point, I'm just not going to be able to get a 99 if we don't do a 2-minute kill. And I think that's already true for Unholy DKs. They can't get 99s if they're not doing the 2 minutes. So it's like, a noob alone ruins your parsing average because it's going to be so much lower because you just can't quite get that high. Because everybody in the top like 150 are just having crazy fast kills. Cloaks matter more than TOGC parse. Oh, hell yeah, of course. Completely agree with that. Yeah, cloaks are way more important. I don't want to dispel. Somebody else do it. Actually, they're all pretty grouped up nicely, which was nice. Oh, I got interrupted. No. Disc Bruce can get that dispel. Oh fuck, I'm out of mana. I don't have the mana. Forgot to swap my glyph. So glyph of Shadowward Pain is super helpful here. Well, almost made it without needing to disperse for mana. But yeah, the most important thing in this phase is definitely cloaks. It does suck that parsing gets ruined by people. Like, the annoying thing is, it's like, it's one thing if there's one person who's, you know, AoEing everything and their guild's just letting them do it and they like ruin all-star points or something, but it's annoying when there's a whole strategy that you can't really do because it's risky and it's not worth it for guilds. Like, the guilds that do it, I mean, they are dumb because they're also wiping multiple times trying to get those kills on a noob. So they're wasting cloaks or wasting tier potentially. That's fantastic. But yeah, I'm ready for ICC. I'm so glad it's coming out. This raid is definitely worn out its welcome by now. They all need buffs. Download bigwigs. All right, let's do it. Oh, I forgot to set my focus. Whoops. What's the PTR schedule next week? Try to say it while fighting. It releases on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, so 2 p.m. Pacific time. And then it's going to be up, they say, for about 3 days. So they don't really give specifics on what 3 days means. They just say 3 days. We are trying to raid, so we're going to raid as soon as it comes out on that Tuesday. Probably for like 7 hours. Sorry, I'm like... it's hard to multitask right now. So that first Tuesday, we're going to try to raid for like 7 hours. Wednesday, we're going to start at like 2 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if I'll be able to make that. And then take a break from 5 to 6 with a raid from 6 to like midnight, probably. And then same thing on Thursday. So I'm going to try to stream as much as I can. I just don't know with what raids I'll be able to make. Let that shadowy pane fall off. I mean 14.9K. Hey, Death's Verdict. Hell yeah. There we go. You might not be able to play for ICC because of work. Yeah, that's a tough thing, right? It's like right smack that. That's the thing that sucks about the midday or the midweek release. Ooh, Chalice. It's always the wrong one. I always get excited because of the icon of this thing, but it's not the hit one. Do I recommend using no channeling macro? No, I don't whatsoever. You should not use. I mean, you can use a no channeling macro, but it's kind of like riding a bike with training wheels. It makes it easier, but you're not gonna. But your parse will be lower, probably. Moon just said the first week is fine. When optimization starts, there's no streaming. Yeah. Did he say that about this specifically? That's what it's been. That's what it was for TOGC. So that's what I'm hoping it is now. Because like I think, especially like the bosses are going to be, if they are hard, like if we're spending like, you know, we spent 50 wipes on what Iron Council, Yogg Zero, Algalon. So if it's similar amount of wipes for like Professor Putricide, Syndragosa, Lich King, then we're just going to be spending a lot of time figuring out the fights. Okay, cool. He did. Awesome. Yes. Then I'll be streaming on next week, which is great because I have a wedding the following weekend. So I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to like stream or participate in so this is like actually a benefit for me that it's the middle of the week. Yo, what's up, Vince? But I was really worried that the PTR was going to be during my wedding, or not my wedding, but my friend's wedding this weekend. And I'm in the wedding party, so it's like I would have been gone Saturday and Sunday. But Pat, I have a video on macros. In that video, I talk about no channeling and why it could be good or bad for you. Generally, it's bad, but if you want a longer explanation than me saying it's bad, you can go check out that video. Or Pan, sorry, I think I called you Pat. Let's go. Oh, this is perfect. That's some good mind searing right there. Damn. That was like perfect placement by our tanks. Oh, do I have the mind sear glyph on? I do. Okay. I wasn't sure if I swapped it for Algalon. Cheers, X. I mean, yeah, so like if you have PC limitations, it's more like internet limitations, not PC limitations that would be why you'd want to or not use a no channeling. Hell yeah. We're just getting ready for when we one phase them. How much does my main sim on 150 seconds? I think it's around 11.5K. I've been swapping to 120 second sim. I think on 120 seconds, it's around 11.8. And on 150, it's around 11.5. Cheers, actually. Yeah, right. So your PC. I was rereading your comment, Pan. Yeah, so it more to do with like the latency. So basically like the speed of your internet. But I don't know if the quality, like if you have a like if your computer slows down and you have like FPS drops, I don't know if that affects it. But you could ask around the Shadow Priest Discord. They're smarter people than me. I just know from like a gameplay, like why it's good or bad. I don't know all the ins and outs of what makes like all the technological reasons behind it. I know it at like a basic level. Oh no, I lost my target. All right, I'm gonna be at cap now. Easy. Cool. That was a clean kill. You messed up Beast again? What'd you do? That's a fair point. Net speed is also not groundbreaking, at least in my point. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Drop constantly from 50 down to 20. Yeah, like I think like with FPS drops, like it's definitely harder to play the game, but it doesn't affect how the server responds to your internet. It just makes the game harder for you to interact. Like obviously it's slower from what you see visually, but I don't know if like network wise it's slower, right? So like again, you would need to ask someone smarter than me. Sorry. I play on a working laptop without dedicated GPU on 130 to 140 MS, still getting 90, still getting 90s. But when everything pops during Bloodlust, it's getting rough. Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty rough. I mean, the conversation, it was about, what's it called? Yeah, we actually got some crazy loot. Using a no channeling macro is what he was asking about. Actually a really big upgrade for me because I'm never going to need the pads of the icy flow. Would those be an upgrade? I haven't thought about this guy's gear in a while because I don't get anything on this because it's just an ult. But we did get some crazy loot. Cord of Biting Cold. What do I have? Ice House Cinch? No, Ice House Cinch is better. Pretty sure. Just put upgrade. Why not? Blade of Tarask. There's no way. I mean, maybe. I'll just put upgrade. Yes, they are. All right, I'll be right back. Have another raid after this one in like 45 minutes. But while we do loot, I'm just going to put on one of my videos from recently. But feel free to go do something else while we do loot. It'll probably be about 10 minutes. And then, you know, maybe we can do a log review or just chat in the meantime. But I'll be right back. Using... What's up, everybody? Let's talk today about casting Mind Blast as a Shadow Priest in Tier 9 and in Tier 10. I've seen a lot of people asking questions about this, saying, oh, well, we lost a Tier 8 4-piece bonus. Do we still want to cast Mind Blast? What do we do with it? I'm not sure. Let's talk about it. So, first of all, the Tier 8 4-piece was a nice bonus on top of Mind Blast, but it was not the reason that we casted it back in Ulduar. Mind Blast is just really strong for us right now. It's really good, and even in Tier 9, we're casting it 95% of the time. There's a really small circumstance when we're not going to be casting it, and I'll talk about that in a second. In Tier 10 is when the major shift is going to happen. We're still going to be casting Mind Blast, but it's not going to be on cooldown, and it's not going to be anywhere near as frequently as we're doing it now. Because not only it's not going to be on cooldown, we're going to be taking points out of Reduced Mind Blast, which is going to reduce the cooldown even further. Now, if you're not in the ShadowPriest Discord, Linello has created some awesome graphs that really highlight when we want to cast Mind Blast and when we don't want to cast it. And you can see that there's going to be a big shift when we get the tier 10 4-piece bonus. That's really going to influence the strength of Mind Flay. Now, if you watched my last video, it was all about how can we reduce our Mind Flay delay when we have successive casts, or really any cast that's coming after a Mind Flay, because you can't queue it. You have to press it immediately after your Mind Flay has finished. Now, that's going to be even more important in tier 10, especially when we're casting so many more Mind Flays. So if you haven't watched that video, if you haven't downloaded that Weakaura, I would highly recommend it. Now, when it comes to Linello's chart, that's mainly taking into account the standard talent setup. I'm not sure how this might change if you're using the other talent setup that removes dispersion and puts some more points into the disc tree. We're still unsure if people are going to be really running this spec. It might be something that we save for towards the end of the phase when we have a lot of gear and we're not worried about dying and we don't really care about having dispersion or not. So that's something that might need to be looked at in the future. So now I'm going to switch to some charts that I created, essentially showing a timeline of a 2.5-minute fight. Now, the thing that you're not seeing is I have some numbers here, essentially dissecting the fight into 5-second chunks and looking at our spell power and haste by different sets of gear. Now, what I did to create this was essentially look at the log analyzer tool for one of my kills on Lord Jaraxxus, and then I tried to replicate that for tier 9 bis, tier 10 non-bis, and tier 10 bis, so that we could get an accurate representation of what our haste and spell power looks like throughout a fight. And what we have here is essentially a chart showing tier 9 bis, tier 10 non-bis, so this is essentially assuming you have your tier 10 4-piece, and then maybe 1 or 2 items from the new raid, and then finally we have tier 10 bis below. Now, when we look at this chart, the shaded area is going to be when we're not casting Mind Blast, when it's better just to Mind Flay. Now you can see in tier 9 bis, that happens very infrequently. So essentially in tier 9 bis, for this to be worth it, to not cast Mind Blast, you need Lust, you need to be using your engineering gloves if you're an engineer, you need to have your trinket procs going if that's a flare, if that's a scale of fates. And if you're a troll, you're going to be using berserking during this time. And even if you're not a troll, you're still not going to be casting Mind Blast for a 5 to 10 second window at the beginning of Lust when you have all of your procs rolling. That's really it for tier 9. Mind Flay is still not that strong relative to Mind Blast until we have a lot of buffs rolling during that Lust window. So other than that, you're going to be sticking to your standard rotation. Now, something I forgot to mention earlier is that I actually have an awesome Weakaura that will tell you when to not cast Mind Flay. Now, this is also going to exist in tier 10, and once it does, I'll make a video talking about that Weakaura. But right now, it will calculate the math and calculate the stats of your character to tell you when and when not to cast Mind Blast, because it's extremely useful, and you're not going to be able to do this math all in your head on the fly. It's going to be really hard to try to figure out, and it's much easier when a Weakaura can tell you what to do than having to figure it out for yourself. So that's tier 9. Let's talk about tier 10 non-bis, when things really do get changed up a lot. Now, back to referencing Linello's graph, you can see that there is a large shift when you get that tier 10 4-piece. That's because that's really going to increase the value of Mind Flay. And what this means is essentially for the first 40 seconds of the fight, we're not casting Mind Blast whatsoever. Lust is so strong that on its own pushes us up above that threshold where we don't want to cast Mind Blast anymore. And then after that, it's basically whenever we get a proc because of our trinkets, if we use engineering gloves and a potion, those are going to be things that also push us over the threshold. So after Lust, what this graph is reading here is around 60 seconds, we're getting engineering gloves back up. We are getting a proc from our tailoring cloak. And then at the 100 to 125 second mark, this is essentially 20 seconds of using Sindragosa's trinket, Phylactery of the Nameless Lich. And then the final area is another engineering gloves, tailoring proc, all of those things. Now, if you're not a tailor or engineer, your graph is going to look different. But I am using this as a bis setup or going from tier 9 bis into ICC and trying to acquire bis throughout ICC. So if you're not tailoring and engineering, again, your curve is going to look a little bit different, but this is just to highlight from a bis perspective. Unfortunately, it would be too much effort to try to do this with all the different combinations of professions that exist in the game. And finally, let's talk about tier 10 bis. Now, this is very similar to tier 10 non-bis. You just have a little bit more static spell power and haste from your gear because you're now wearing all 277 items, and then you have a 284 weapon on top of that. So your gear is extremely strong. You're still going to be casting Mind Blast. That's the thing to note, is that at no point are we ever removing Mind Blast from our rotation. Here, it's not going to be as often, and you're not going to maintain full uptime with replenishment because, again, you're still not casting it during Lust. And then you have a few more periods throughout the rest of the fight where you're not going to be casting it. But that's just because really any single proc is going to put us over that threshold. We're going to be basically like, if this is a threshold to not cast Mind Blast, we're going to be sitting like right here with our standard gear once we hit ICC bis. So at that point, really, you get a tailoring proc, you get your engineering gloves, you get a haste potion. Those are all things that are going to put you over that threshold. You know, maybe not the tailoring proc on its own because that's only 295 spell power, but everything else is strong enough that a single buff otherwise is going to put you over that threshold to not cast Mind Blast. Now, as we get further along, through TOGC and closer to ICC, there will be more math done, and I'm sure better graphs than what I'm showing you here. But this is really just to illuminate how often we're going to be casting Mind Blast, and the thing is that it never truly drops out of our rotation. It's still going to be an important spell to cast, though we're not going to be casting it on cooldown like we are now. Anyway, that's all I have for you in this video. A huge shout out to my supporters on YouTube because your support really does mean a lot to me, and I'd love to be able to grow this channel even bigger than it already is. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful, and please let me know if there's anything that you feel like I didn't cover because I'm trying to do my best. It'll be around the end of. What's up, everybody? Let's talk about gearing in ICC as a Shadow Priest. Now, even though there's been no official word on the release date of the tier, we're hoping it'll be around the end of September, beginning of October, and it's never too early to talk about loot because the loot this tier is extremely spicy. Now, if you do enjoy this content, please consider giving me a like and subscribe, as a lot of my viewers are not actually subscribed, and I would really appreciate it if you were. Without further ado, let's get into it. But before we actually talk about the gear, I want to talk about how we get tier this phase because unfortunately it's different than how we got tier 9, which was different than how we got tier 8. So there are 3 item levels of tier to start with: 251, 264, and 277. Now you have to use badges to buy the first tier at 251. From there, you can upgrade, but you just need tokens from the raid. You no longer need badges. So to upgrade from 251 to 264, requires a token that you get from 10-man heroic or 25-man normal mode in ICC. Now to go from 264 to 277, you have to get a token that drops from 25-man heroic ICC. You cannot, unfortunately, go from 251 to 277. You have Sorry, one second. I am finished. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. We are done giving out loot. We got some time to kill until my next raid. So the next raid will be on the main Shadow Priest. So it'll be a fun one. So if anybody wants a log review, we can do that, or we can talk about ICC. You know, whatever. I've got one more question. If you got a Mistress Kiss on Lord Jiraxis, how to prevent it? So the way you can prevent it is your paladins need to use aura mastery with concentration aura, and that will stop it. Essentially, that will stop the interrupt. You'll still get the debuff on your character, but when it would normally interrupt you, it obviously won't interrupt you. Other than that, basically, as soon as you get the debuff on your character, you're gonna get interrupted. I think Thames Weakaura pack might track it. Foji's probably does. I don't really know. I haven't used those, but I've heard other people say that. There's also like a heart that goes out from the boss and like travels towards your character. So if you see that coming, you can like mentally prepare for it. Basically what you would want to do if you get it is stop casting immediately, and then you can cast like a Hearthstone, you can cast Mass Dispel and have one of those gets kicked. So that way your shadow spells don't get kicked, because I think you get kicked for like 5 or 6 seconds. So you just want to try to avoid getting locked out the best you can. It's a super annoying mechanic. But I got an offhand. So cool. Okay, does anybody want like a log review or anything? We got 30 minutes until next raid, so we got some time to kill. This week you got it twice in a row. Oh, that sucks. Could you get another one? I mean, sure, Vince. If that's fine with me. Let's go pan first, Vince, since I got you yesterday, right? Oh, Vince, I'll do you second if we have time. Yeah, if you're getting it twice in a row, pan, I mean, at least the first one, your allies should be tracking it to Aura Mastery. Like, that's something that they should be doing. If you're doing log reviews, I'll enjoy putting my name in the ring. Okay, let's do, so right now, the order is going to be Pan, Vince, and then Jesus Spy. Let me bring up a doc. Stat, or doc.new. Pan, what's your character name? What's your character's name and server? All right, while I wait for that, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. But I'll be back in 30 seconds. Can I help you with your beast if there's time? Yes, for sure. So I guess I didn't say this to everybody else, but if you are a supporter on YouTube, then you bypass the queue. So you'll essentially be put first into queue. But voter, since I agreed to do Pan first, I'll get him first, and then I'll take a look at your beast second. Okay? So since undereducated voter is a supporter, he gets to be second. Oh, I switched browsers, so like Classic, Warcraft. So I don't have all like everything saved. I don't know why I did. Well, I mean, it's less resource intensive apparently, but I don't know if I like it. Anyway, Miltoran on Mograine. All right, cool. Any fight that you want to look at? I'm assuming you're a soaker on Twins based on the unfortunate 39 there. I am using a macro to use all my CDs at once at the start of each fight. That can be good, can be bad. I don't know that I would recommend it. I think having your cooldowns on separate binds is a better way to operate. But I mean, the well dots. I need to like save these in here. But yeah, so Pan, which fight would you like to look at? Or do you want me to just pick one? Seems like your Jiraxis and a noob could use the most work. I'm assuming because you're soaking on Twins. If not, I'll just pick one. Okay, I'm gonna pick Jiraxis since you haven't said anything. Okay, there we go. You said a noob. Let's do a noob. Let's do, what's your most recent kill? Okay, let's take a look at your most recent kill. I like to start these off by looking at gear too. So you're 243, so your item level is kind of low. So you have a lot of hit, 349. Your horde, you want 289. So you essentially have 60 more hit than you need. your gear is all pretty good. So I guess one thing, never use this gem, the haste spirit. You want to use, if you have a blue socket, you want to use purified dreadstone. So 12 spell power and 10 spirit is going to be better than getting 10 haste and 10 spirit. Just spell power is better and you get more of it than the haste. So you got bracers 258 with extra hit and 2 pieces of 258. That's awesome. You've replaced a 245 pants and chest. Okay, so you have even more hit then because you have the 245 pants. I definitely wouldn't use those 258 hit bracers though, because you don't need hit. You're way over capped already. You're just gonna lose damage from the, like, you should keep grasps of reason until, I don't even, like, the 258 hit ones are really a really good option if you need the hit, not when you don't. This belt's pretty weak, unfortunately. Cloak would be a good item to replace. It's not super strong. If you have like an Algalon cloak, the 252 haste spirit cloak would be an awesome replacement here. Just anything that you can do to like take yourself down about 60 hit, you just have too much. Other than that, your gear looks fine. I would just try to work on your hit. And I definitely would not replace those bracers. That's just going to give you way more hit and you'll lose damage because these are still really good. Okay. So first of all, let's take a look at the burrowers. Oh, you've only got the 239 Algalon cloak. That's unfortunate. So you did 885k. Are you tracking your damage to the ads? So this is kind of the unfortunate thing. So I don't know if you noticed when I just did a noob there, is that like once I hit 600k damage, I just stopped AoEing. Because there's no reason. Actually, I want to pull up my logs. I want to see what that. Why does this not? Needs to like get this saved in here. Let me see. Classic. It's really annoying. Anyway, I'm not logged in. Shouldn't have switched browsers. I don't like this. So what I want to show you is on my kill here. If we go to burrowers, this is my burrower damage. If you view unfiltered damage, like barely anything changes. There's a little bit added here. So I did 616k because it stops counting damage at 600k. So if you're trying to parse, you just want to you want to stop once you hit 600k. For you though, you know, the damage stops counting at 600k, but you did like this whole extra wave here. Essentially this fourth wave, if you just ignored them, would have been more damage for you because none of this damage counted for your parse. It showed 700k. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had any issues with the Weakaura not tracking things correctly. So that's just something to keep track of yourself. I guess not, that was a stupid comment. That's just something that try to, I don't know, if the Weakaura isn't tracking correctly, then that's an issue with the Weakaura. I haven't had that issue. I don't know that anyone else has either. If that happens, you're kind of screwed. But I think I would just say, my guess is that the Weakaura was not wrong. I would just try to be a little bit, I would just pay attention to it a little bit more closely. Oh, is it buggy for you too? Okay, so then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are issues with it. I haven't had that personally. When I've checked, it's always matched up exactly with the damage that I've done on the logs. Yeah, I would say it's more likely you're getting lost in combat. So just try to keep an eye on it. Anyway, that's all to say. So this is all of the damage you did to the ads. This is the damage that counted. So essentially half of this third wave and all of this fourth wave damage just did not count for your parse. So that's just wasted damage that it's not wasted for your raid because obviously it helps to kill the ads if you guys, especially if you're killing the fourth set. But it's not helping your parse. So this is kind of a weird situation where your kill time's a little bit long or like longer than my guild. Like we just did a 352 and your kill is 450. So our kill is like a minute faster than yours. So it's kind of tough. What's like the benefit for you as someone who's trying to parse versus the benefit for your guild and helping them succeed on the fight. So if you're struggling with add damage, something you could do is you could, if you really want to try to hit the 600k, yo, what's up, Brain? You could even hold off. Like, this is actually a really good Mind Seer, so it's kind of unfortunate that, I guess it just depends on the positioning of your ads. But if you hold off on the first 2 waves and then really, or like do your VTs but don't Mind Seer and then just keep your single target on the boss, and then go to town AoEing on the 3rd and 4th waves, because I'm assuming, I could be wrong, I'm assuming that your guild's going to be fine on the first 2 ad waves, and it's going to be the 3rd into the 4th once you hit sub 30%, that things would get a little bit hairy. So if you do need to AoE and you can't, there's nothing you really do about it. Oh, the other thing I'd say is don't Shadow Word Pain. Shadow Word Pain just doesn't do enough damage to be worth it for the global to just do Vampiric Touch. So do a single Vampiric Touch as they're running in, and then start Mind Searing or go back to single targeting a noob. So Shadow Word Pain just doesn't do enough damage to be worth it for the global that you're spending on it. So yeah, I think you try to, if you want to hit that 600k, I'd say it might be better to lay off the first 2 set of ads with Mind Seer and then really just focus on the second set with Mind Seer. Or this, sorry, I'm referring to these first 2 as the first set and these second 2 as the second set. So essentially the 3rd and 4th ad waves is what I'm saying makes more sense to Mind Seer on. Does that make sense? Where's this? The last pull that we review, actually tried Shadow Word Pain on ads too, and this other shadow didn't even use Mind Seer at all and did the same amount of damage. I mean, yes, on phase 3 you want to focus a noob, but if you have dots on him during Lust and you have VTs on the other ads, like, you're not losing that much by searing, like you are, but I don't. Assuming you have all 3 dots on a noob and you have VTs on all 4 of the ads, you're like, your healing should be fine for your group. I don't think that would be a cause for concern. Your dot downtime actually looks really good. So you're refreshing your dots like within 1 second and then falling off for VT. Devouring Plague is a little bit slower. It's 1.9 seconds. I'm assuming you're probably struggling with Devouring Plague when the ads are coming out. So that's just, and like 1.9 seconds isn't even struggling. It's just a little bit slower than your Vampiric Touch, which is 1.2 seconds of downtime before you refresh the dot. So I would just say the thing here is that there are 2 ways to increase your parse on this fight. One is by being efficient with your damage to the ads, and then the other one is by really focusing your single target on a noob. Because if you're hitting that 600k ad damage, then the only way to increase your parse after that is by doing more damage to a noob. Now, by optimizing that damage, and what I'm talking about there is you had 280k over the cap. So if we can take that away, that allows you to focus more time into single targeting of the boss. So I think for you, if you can just try to lay off the first 2 ad waves, or just Mind Seer less. Like if you're doing 2 fully channeled Mind Seers, maybe do 1. We can actually check that. So you did 1, 2, 3, 4. You did 4 Mind Seers on the first wave. And then I guess you did a Mind Seer off of a noob too. So technically 5. If you could change this to like, or I guess this is probably is that the next wave? No. Yeah, I would say if you could turn this like 5 Mind Seers to be like 2, and then just see if the rest of your raids can clean up the ads. If not, then you just might be in a position where you need to put the guild above yourself, and parsing is going to be out of the question. And what I mean by that is like you'll keep parsing what you are, but like if you have to do more damage to the ads because the people in your guild aren't doing it, then that's going to hurt your parse, but it's still better for the guild. So that's kind of the tough thing here with this fight. Sorry, 1 second. I was just checking guild stuff. Okay. I think other than that, like for you, it's really just optimizing that ad damage. Your damage for Anub himself. So again, your VT downtime looks good. Your DP is what I said, so 1.9 seconds. This is probably a throughout, like we take a look at your other fights for your like Mind Flay delay. I'd say you could also work on having better mind plays. So in one of my recent videos, I talked about an add-on you can use to reduce your Mind Flay delay. And I could actually go into game and show you this. I don't know if you have it. I'm just going to run to a target dummy real quick. I don't know if you saw it on my screen, but it was the add-on that showed like, let me see if it's going to load. I don't know if it shows anything. Mind clip delay, but essentially it was popping up right here and it would say like 100 ms, 200 ms, like whatever my delay was essentially to cast a spell after I cast a Mind Flay. And I think that would be really helpful for you to use just to work on your Mind Flay delay. It's not particularly bad, but it could be better. And that's just, if you optimize that, it would be like probably 200 to 300 DPS increase. You've not used it. Let me show you. So when I cast a Mind Flay here, and then I'm going to cast another one after this does its third tick, you see how it said perfect 2 ms? Perfect 2 ms. I don't think this is actually perfect. Tick lost, 115 ms, 100 ms. I'm going to try to wait a little bit longer, 400 ms. Like it's showing me essentially the time after my list, the time between when my last tick happened and when I press my Mind Flay to cast another spell or to cast my next Mind Flay. So like your average here is 230. If we can bring that down to like 150 or 100, and you can do that just by downloading this Weakaura, practicing on the target dummy, and then just see what you can get. And you can test it, like go to the middle or wait until the middle of your like cast bar here, or until you get to like close to your third tick or even your second tick and you cast it. It'll tell you when you casted your next spell too early or if you casted it perfectly, if you waited too long. It's a really useful tool. Now obviously this isn't a raid environment. Your haste is going to be lower here because you don't have a shaman totem, you don't have lust. If you can get like a shaman to come, a friend to come sit here and just like cast lust for you, that would always be really nice. Okay, yeah, so if you saw my video yesterday, I guess this was from the one from 2 days ago, the Mind Flay one, with like the Darth face in the thumbnail. Download the Weakaura from that one and then just go on a target dummy and practice. But then I think that mixed with trying to optimize your AoE on the ads will really increase your parse on a noob. And you think you'll get back to me when you get your PC upgraded? All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, let me know. All right, undereducated voter, you're up. You still here? While I wait for you, I'm going to take a look at my logs real quick. I didn't look at my logs from this last raid. See how I did. 98. I mean, it's just hard to parse with my gear. Like, 10 point. How's 10.7 not a 99? That's wild. Yeah. Okay, cool. You're here. Awesome. And I got a ton of AoE value on Jiraxis. I guess not a ton. It was decent, but it wasn't that much. Twin Valks. This is a 98. That's not bad. Okay. Old Horizons. If I could spell, wow, that was bad. Unfairly, no. How many queue for logs? Well, technically you can be next since you're a supporter. But After Old Horizons here, we technically have 2, but can be USAIL. Am I using this macro? And I think to don't use a no channeling brain. That's what we were talking about. Don't use the no channeling. You should just be casting Mind Flay normally. Undereducated. So which fight did you want? Sorry if you said it. Oh, beasts. Right. Okay. All right, cool. Your last one was your best one. That's always nice to see. So let's take a look. Oh, damn. That's a very nice spike here. So that's awesome. Oh, you've been using that for 2 years? Yeah. So if you stop using no channeling brain, it's going to be really weird for you because the point of no channeling is that when you go to cast a spell, you will not interrupt it because you're channeling a spell. So yeah, so you can't spam your Mind Flay button anymore like you probably were doing before. You can only, as soon as you press it, at least once a global cooldown's up, you will interrupt your current Mind Flay. So you're gonna have to practice with it a lot, but once you get used to it, your DPS will increase. I can guarantee you that. Okay, cool. So I mean, this spike here again, awesome. And you guys have a good kill time. So let's go here. Analyzer shows a lot of bad play for this fight, which is a rip. Yeah, see, that's actually a good point. That's why I don't like this raid, is there's no warm-up. Like, that was kind of the nice thing about Old War, is that you had the bosses that didn't matter. Like, you had Ignis and Razor Scale before you got to the first fight that you might care about, which would be XT. And then it's like you have Iron Council, and then you have Algalon. So it's like you had some fights to warm up on, but it kind of feels bad not having that in this raid. I mean, this isn't that bad. Like, this is actually pretty good. The 126 and the 7, like, that's what I do on a fight. Oh, this is 10-man. Do you only do 10-man? No, it's not 10-man. Why did it say? Never mind. The name of this log confused me. Pug 10-man. I just got really confused. Never mind. Ignore what I was saying there. Okay, so average dot downtime. Oh wait, this probably isn't. Yeah, 2-piece tier 9. Okay, never mind. Average dot downtime's a lot better now. Oh, you crushed it with your VTs. Half a second. That's awesome. That's like better than me. Devouring Plague, not quite as good. So just try to make sure that as soon as this falls off, you're putting it back on. Can I start raid? Yes. Moon, stop playing hardcore. I'd love to support you, but you haven't acknowledged it. Well, I mean, you did say, can I get a log of UQ? Sorry, I missed that. Was not intentional. Whisper in the raid. All right, Moon, I got it. Give me 1 second. Or wait, did Bakker? Oh. Oh. No, it's me and Lachette right now. We can join your raid. Moon just asked me to, so I didn't see yours. Oh, you didn't? Yeah, you didn't know about the 2-piece tier 9 thing? Yeah, no, that happened to me too. Only said because. Oh, were you Alex? Honest. Alex, if I ignored you, none of it was intentional. I tunnel vision, and if I don't see your comment, I could be looking right at it, and when I'm focused on something else, I just don't see it. So sorry about that. That was not intentional. Alex, you can definitely get into the queue. I feel bad now because I've already you can be the first one that I do after this next raid, regardless of who's in the queue. How about that? Okay, anyway. I have my Google Doc here. So apologies to Vince and Jesus Spy. What was I doing? We have 8 minutes. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like, I'm getting my bearings on everything. I still have to get like my tailoring buffs before raid. Okay, anyway, let's go to, there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, so swapping this to tier 9 will like, obviously if we take this off, your dot downtime looks really bad because it doesn't realize you have 2 extra ticks on your vampiric touch. So it's going to give you some bad info. I didn't realize that for a while too. So I think I gave out some wrong information for a few weeks until somebody told me about that. And I was like, oh, I thought it just already knew. Moving from Q. Okay, sorry, Vince.
I would like to extend to you an invitation to
Hey, thank you, Booty. Wow.
Party.
You became a legendary supporter. Thank you, man. Dude, I really appreciate that. You are the first. Welcome to the pants party. You're the first legendary supporter is what I meant. But thank you. I appreciate that, man. Okay, sorry. I'm getting so distracted right now. Your vassals. So, okay, so you put up a single VT. I can already say you probably want to be putting up a vampiric touch on that. Oh, no, ignore me. I was selecting vampiric touch. Okay. Again, I'm a little bit distracted right now. Snowballed 4, snowballed 1. Okay, so let's take a look at... Sorry, we're about to run out of time, too, because my raid's about to start. Hit points, enemies, snowballed vassals. Okay, so the first one spawns at, like, 24 seconds. And, okay, so... Did you just not cast on one of the snowballs? So this is going to be a big thing on Beast, is that no matter how good your single target damage is, a large portion of your damage for parsing is going to come from how much you do to the ads. So like, oh, you totally missed it. Yeah. So that's going to hurt you a ton. So let's see, you got snowballed number 4 at 44 seconds. Snowballed 4 is not even showing up here. There's nothing at 44 seconds. Okay. So the logs are a little screwy. Can I select snowballed vassal 4? Oh, here it is. That's so weird. It wasn't showing before. So like 44, that's basically as soon as you could. So you got this guy perfectly. Okay, so you know what you're doing with the snowballs. It's just missing that first one is really going to hurt your damage. So it's kind of unfortunate. He was alive for 12 seconds. No, about 15 rather. So that's just some lost damage, which, you know, one full round of a Shadowward Pain and Vampiric Touch, so probably like 40k damage that you lost by not dotting him up. Okay, so if you know that you missed him, I won't belabor that point. Let's look at Gormok. Okay, your Gormok curve looks normal. This is typically what happens. Like you have a nice spike in the beginning, especially with Shadow Fiend. And then you're dotting up the ads and you're hovering around 10k. I think this guy's not as geared. I just want to double check myself to make sure that's kind of what mine looks like. Yeah, very similar. So I start off, I trail a little bit down and then I was dodging fire. But very similar curve. Okay, cool. Dread Scale, Acid Maw. Okay, so you're maintaining dots. You cast a Mind Blast onto him. Okay, so 2 things here that I'm noticing. One is that your Vampiric Touch falls off. Your Shadowward Pain. Okay. So when you have the 2 Germongers up, what you want to do is you put all your single target into Dreadscale, and then you maintain your dots onto Acid Maw, right? So just you focus the one that you're killing first, and then you just have your 2 dots on the other target. Here you have a weird Mind Blast. Maybe you just messed up your targets. Just no reason to put single target into this mob because it's not going to have all the same debuffs that the other one does. So this Mind Blast is just going to hit for not as hard as it would if you casted it on Dreadscale. And then the other thing is before it burrows, you want to make sure that you have your dots rolling. So like your Shadowward Pain is the only dot that was ticking here. Your Vampiric Touch fell off. It doesn't seem like you had Devouring Plague on him either. And then he comes up, obviously, you put everything on and it looks fine after. And I'm sure we can go into the analyzer tool and actually look at this too. Acid Maul, the burrow happens. It looks like, so at 209, there's a 15-second or 17-second gap in damage, and I'm assuming that's where he burrows. But where this Mind Flay is at 209, you would have wanted some dot refreshes here. Vampiric Touch. I'm not, okay, yeah. Like Vampiric Touch, Shadow Word Pain, or not Shadow Word Pain because you refreshed it with Mind Flay, but you would have wanted to VT and Devouring Plague before it goes underground. That's going to be a nice chunk of damage. That, again, it's like 10 to 15 seconds of dot damage that you're just missing out on. And then, all right, we got 2 minutes to raid. Hold on 1 second. And then your Gormok actually looks pretty good. Like your damage spike here to 30k. If I look at mine, let's get off Gormok. Tailoring buffs. I'll get them. Like this is my alt, so his gear's not quite as good, but like, yeah, right around 30k. Damage here, you know, a little break because you get stunned, and then your dots. I think overall, kind of running out of time. Actually, let me do this. Let me do my tailoring buffs, and then I'll run to the raid, and I can log out there if we're not full yet. Moonshroud. Am I not in the zone? There we go. What's up, Mayo? Oh, that's the wrong note. But yeah, so basically the whole key to that fight is maximizing your damage on the ads. That's like really what it's about. So making sure you're getting value. Oh, why do I keep using that mount? Getting that value on the snowball. It's getting the value on the other Jermonger that you're not killing first. And making sure you're getting dots during the burrow. Making sure that when you get stunned, your dots are ticking on Ice Howl, which it looked like they were. And then maximizing that damage during Ice Howl stun. So I think for you, the main thing it looked like was the ad damage. So just making sure your dots are ticking on the ads. Oh, did you miss a DP snapshot? That's pretty big too. Yeah, because I mean that's like an extra DP, right? Because it's 100% damage, so it's like you get double the value of a DP. So, and DP does like 40 to 50k damage. Wait, that's the wrong one. Here we go. After raid, do I do more? Yeah, I'll do more after raid. I didn't think of the numerical value of losing the dots. Yeah, the dots add up. It's huge, honestly. But yeah, so Sail, I can get you. So okay, so the order right now is Sail and then Alex, and then Jesus Spy for after raid. Sorry for the weird order. My brain's a little like not working today. I apologize. Oh, I'm gonna log out so that I'm not wasting my tailoring buffs. But yeah, so Sal, I can get you after raid. We only had 24. But if they're not here yet, Sounds like it's time for tailing buffs. I'm just gonna sit here because I think our last person is about to log in soon. Yeah, so dot uptime's huge. Dot uptime's like the biggest thing for Shadow, honestly. Because our single target really sucks, at least until we get the tier 10 4-piece. So like, in order to maximize your damage on a fight, you really need to take advantage of dots on other targets, other than like your main target. That's the best way to maximize your damage as Shadow. Yeah, Fluffy, give it to Pants. You heard him. No, I'm kidding. I don't care. One of the other officers was like, what we really should be talking about for parsing is why the alt mages are trading their FMs and not giving it to mains. But can we get a mage table? An extra 100k over that fight would have been like 400 DPS, and I probably lost. Yeah, I mean, you probably lost close to that. Because you definitely lost 40k, I would say, on the first ad. Maybe could have been more, could have been less. That's like the full duration of a VT and a Shadowed Pain. And then you lost downtime when the dots, or when the Burrower went under, so that's probably another 40k. Actually, it might be more because it's a Devouring Plague and VT and Shadowed Pain. And Devouring Plague hits the hardest of all of our dots. So yeah, it actually probably was 100k, maybe like 120. Oh, we don't have a demo lock? Thank you, sirs. But yeah, again, the thing to remember is Shadow is that like to maximize your damage, the biggest thing is dot uptime. Like single target, whatever. Oh, I got focus magic. Thank you, Fluffy. Oh, Flaherty. Oh, interesting. Are they giving it to? Oh, that's never gone. I guess what our other officer said got to him. Focus magic today, time to pump. I know, right? I was joking. Like, I mean, it's nice, but like the mages always trade it, and like I have an alt mage and I do the same. So like, I mean, it. Like, the crit is much more impactful on mage because like crit actually affects the rotation, whereas for me, it just like I get bigger numbers more often, which is nice. Oh, do I have? But I will never get a PI, unfortunately. I had a fun conversation with our officers about like optimizing PI more, like, and not to give it to myself, just like the targets who we are giving it to, and just try to like figure out who's the best. And they were just like, we don't care. I was like, it's too much effort for like an extra like 10 to 20 DPS. And I'm like, that's true, but I think the people who get it would feel rewarded for it. You know? But we're just kind of lazy and we let it sit on the same people. Hey, what's up, Juan? You're just in time for the main Shadow Priest raid. Have everything equipped, right? Yeah. Wow, a 14k Mind Blast. Holy shit. That was chunky. Oh no, these guys are creeping in on me. There's the fire. Uh-oh. A lot of cobalt damage. Oh, our tank is dead. That's really bad. Oh, I'm attacking the wrong target. Oh my god, I'm not attacking the right target. Sorry, I was just playing really badly there. I thought I was targeting Dreadscale and I wasn't. Oh. Holy crap. What is happening? This just turned into a shit show really quick. Fuck am I thinking? I don't know if you're gonna parse this poll. Yeah, I don't know. Things turned to shit, and then like while they turned to shit, I was having like targeting problems. Like that was wild. Oh. Oh my god. Are we gonna wipe? What was that? The dude just sprayed that all over us. Wow, that was 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 9 people dead. Hardcore was a mistake. Yeah, let's see what happens with this cape. Oh, our tank's Moon's dead. Cat God. Sin DK. Oh, Sin DK pulled aggro and died. 11 dead. Oh, these freezes could be really bad. I guess all of our healers are still alive. But are we gonna have the damage? Oh, Cat God's getting smacked. He only has 28k health. That's like what I have buffed. Oh my god, he's at 90% HP. Oh my god. I don't think this is gonna be a kill. Let alone a parse. I don't know. They gotta do something crazy here. The 88. While you have a moment, what's the name of your Weakaura Mind Flay ticker? If you check the video description in YouTube, I give like instructions on how to do it, but it's part of Passion's Weakaura pack for Priest. Oh, we got 2 minutes, 70%. I don't think we have the damage for this. Easy, yeah. I don't. This is gonna be the first cloak we've ripped since like week 2. I don't think we do either. Oh, you lost the faction champs? That's rough. Minute and a half. So in a minute they did 35%. They might be able to. This is gonna be close. That was a really good freeze. Only got like 3 people. This is wild. Yeah, I don't. 50 seconds. We need everybody to DPS hard. I wish my time to die Weakaura was working right now. 35 seconds and 35%. Oh, our tank's dead. Oh, that's a wipe. That's a wipe. No, it's over. I appreciate your optimism, Andreas. That's a ripped cloak. That's sad. That hasn't happened in... I was honestly thinking, I'm like, I wonder if we'll get like an immortal cloak or something. Like, I feel like we were due. Oof. That was rough. Yeah, very sad. Everyone's dead here. 22%. 82 overkill. That's brutal. And to be fair, you said that before the tank died. Yeah, that's fair. There's like a bit of a delay between what you guys see and what I'm saying. Because if I could make the delay less if I streamed in 1080p instead of 1440. But well, RIP tailoring buffs. Try to time the one phase. Oh, timed it. Yeah. I mean, Eeper, you're not wrong. I would be for trying, but I don't think the other guys would be. Because the problem with trying it now is it almost rewards wiping because people do want that 2-minute anub. So it's like, oh, we wiped. Might as well spend some time and go for that. So it's like a weird thing by doing that. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, well, that was an unfortunate start to this raid. Eber. So this is the day the one phase happens. Yeah, death equals delete. Let me just let me get on that right now. That sounds like something someone with a cloak would say. I mean, I do have a cloak, so you're right. That's someone with a cloak, what I would say. Don't like the no wipe mechanics prevents people from trying new and fun stuff. Yeah, I think the no wipe mechanic is stupid. Any log reviews? Yes, after this raid. I already did a few, but more to come. We're doing it. Fiend and Moon were just like, hey, if you want to send the one phase attempt. All right. I wasn't going to be the one to bring it up, but you know. since like week 2. No, come back here. Get out. All right, let's try not to die here. Oh my god, stop getting out of range. Nope, nope, not the fucking snowball.
I would like to extend to you an invitation to the pants party. The pants.
All right, redot.
With the pants.
Thank you. Thank you, Pan. Thank you for becoming an epic supporter. Welcome to the pants party. Okay, let's try not to get spewed. Oh, too late. Which is better to parse? You want to lust on, what's it called? On Ice Howl. That's better for parsing. This is the safe strat. Board. Try not to get frozen. Good spot. Oh, that wall is super safe. That would have been a better spot. A little bit kind of in the middle here. Nice. Well, sucks for them, but. Okay. Oh, I don't get a bop. I normally would, but they had to use it, unfortunately. to lust actually before he jumps to the middle. Oh, Slink is dead. Okay. Oh, too early. Oh, fuck. A lot of Mindseer value, but not going to be enough for a best parse anyway. Hey, 5th. That's the best I've ever done in terms of overall ranking. But my parse last week was 12.6k, so that was pretty solid. Guild is in the middle of imploding. Oh, shit. Oh. I'm dispersing. Does that rip Immortal if you die like that? No, I know. I was just not about this raid. Oh, Symbol of Transgression. Nice. Been waiting on that one. Do you have to snapshot VT Shadowward Pain? No, because my Weakaura doesn't say it. No, you don't. You only snapshot Devouring Plague. The other dots will update dynamically. Oh, whoops, forgot to pass. So Vampiric Touch and Shadowward Pain will update dynamically, and they'll automatically have that 100% damage applied to them. But Devouring Plague does not. So if you cast it before he gets the debuff, and once he has the debuff, that cast that was on him before will not automatically have it applied. So you have to recast for it to benefit from it. But it also means if you recast just at the very last second of his 100% damage amp, then that will stay with that Devouring Plague until its time runs out. Oh, I want to do Glyph of Shadowward Pain instead of Mindseer, so I don't run But drama, that sucks, Reese. I'm happy that my guild doesn't have that. But I've been there. I've been a part of the drama. Dealt with shitty GMs and officers and shit before. Oh, Ghost Streak DC'd. Well, that was cool to be 5th on that, but I mean, it was just so much AoEing that happened. And like, I kind of fucked up the fight, to be honest. Oh, we're not live logging. Damn. I was hoping we were. Do you see any messages from Booty Wow in your YouTube? You may have me blocked. Not gonna lie, never done anything to... Oh, Alex, you're Booty? No, I saw you became a legendary supporter. Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't see... I haven't blocked you. I don't... No, I don't see anything from you, Booty. Yup, that's it. Oh, no. Wait, Alex, is your name Booty on YouTube? Because I've never seen... I've never seen your comments on YouTube, ever. Let me see if you're. I haven't blocked you. Yeah, other people have said they've never seen you either in the YouTube stream. I've never seen your name in the YouTube stream. I can see if you got blocked for something. I haven't. I don't know if YouTube auto moderates things. Hold on, I might not have time right now before we start this fight. Okay. No, I don't even know where blocked settings. Let's see, permissions. Hidden users. No, I don't have. I've never seen you, Booty. I don't have anything saying you're blocked. He was typing on YouTube. No booty to ooh. Maybe you don't have your account verified. I don't know. He was typing. Sale, did you see him? Oh, that's right in the middle. No, I would never intentionally ignore you or anything. So I hope you didn't. Oh man, all these guys are out of range. All right, rip my parts on this fight. Do I prefer you watching from YouTube or Twitch? I don't care. You know, whichever you prefer, honestly. I have both windows open because like OBS only shows me the YouTube chat. It doesn't show me Twitch, even though I'm streaming on both. It's like YouTube is my primary account, essentially, in the terms of OBS. So it's like I have to have my Twitch open to see it, to see any chat. Damn it, I missed. But I don't care. Get off me, rogue. It's crazy how I fucked up the start of the fight and I'm still at like 19k damage right now. Or DPS. Oh, that's a tricks. No, I missed it. I don't think I'm getting targeted, but there's so much crap near me right now. Holy shit, that was like 17k. That was insane. For real, been scouring. Hey, what's spell bar? Hey, what's spell bar? I switched to Foji Weakaura and I don't have one built in, so I get a bar Mind Flay Ticker. Oh, I use quartz. That's my cast bar add-on. It doesn't have the tick sound. I get that from a different Weakaura. Oh, did my inner fire get dispelled off? Oh, I probably got hit a bunch. No booty here. He was typing on YouTube. He said he's Alex on Twitch, but all his messages are gone. Oh, interesting. Yeah, booty. I don't know. I think the like auto moderation on YouTube doesn't like you for some reason. I haven't done anything. I promise you that. I don't. You know, free speech. Say what you want. I don't think you would have said anything that would have upset me anyway. You say my bad words in videos. That's fine. I don't give a shit. I curse all the time. Like, as long as you don't say anything offensive to, like, specific groups. But, you know. No, I have no idea why you... I would say for you, maybe watch on Twitch. I see all your messages here. I don't know why it doesn't work. Maybe... I mean, his name's Booty. Like, I don't think that's inappropriate, right? But yeah, no, sorry about that, Booty. Not intentional whatsoever. You can send me any messages that you've sent that I haven't seen. You can like DM me on Discord. Sorry about that. Set focus. Oh my god, I always forget. Thank you. How can I get this Weakaura? It's in the video description on YouTube. It only works for Alliance though. If you're talking about the nameplates, that was up here. Oh shit. I wanted to change my gear up and I forgot to. So the guy who has a rank 1 parse in this fight uses the 2-piece setup, and I'm wondering if like the 15% damage from Devouring Plague that you get from the tier 8 2-piece gets like extra value on this fight or something. Because like his damage was basically equivalent to mine in like every phase or like in every spell, except his Devouring Plague did like 1k more DPS than mine. Oh no, my tick sound broke. There it is. That was a clip. Whatever. Wait, what? Oh my god, am I attacking the wrong target? I never swapped colors. I'm just gonna... God damn it. I was like, why is my damage so low? I can hem. Oh, that's... God damn it. I'm so mad. Flame us. No, like I ran over and clicked the thing. It's a stupid, like, thing is a pain to click. See ya bars, yeah. Oh, I'm attacking the dark one again. I need to attack the light. Well, who knows what this parse would have been had I not done that. I felt like I was doing a good job, but yeah, ICC PTR is next Tuesday. So fun fact on that fight, when I went to do my little like swap thing, I didn't actually click on the thing, so I spent 3/4 of the fight attacking the wrong target. 10k DPS, baby. Sorry, 11. No, it's not your fault. I like literally I bootst over and I like click the thing, and it's like I click like 5 times and then I go back and it just, I don't know, it doesn't work. I'm gonna reload to get rid of these Weakauras. How long does PTR usually last before the patch comes out? So usually it's about 4 to 6 weeks. Like PTR doesn't last for 4 to 6 weeks, but from the first PTR, I think the raid will probably be released in about 6 weeks. My original guess was always like the 2nd week of October. So I think it'll be the 2nd or 3rd week of October. But PTR is next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday. They said for 3 days. I don't know if what that counts, but I'll be streaming it. So if you want to watch from a Shadow Priest point of view, come watch me. Hopefully I'm not playing as bad as I am right now, because Jesus Christ, this has been rough. You just scheduled a vacation for the second week of October. Well, I hope your guild's not trying to progress really hard that week. What's the average off CD? What do you mean, Stefanos? What's the average off CD in the log review? Oh yeah, so we're doing the okay, this is interesting. So we're doing, hold on, I need to listen to Discord. So we're 3 tanking it. I might be able to parse on this way, we'll see. No, I know what you're talking about, the tool, Stefanos. I don't know what you mean by the average off cooldown. Which is harder, Old or ICC? I haven't done ICC in like 15 years. A lot of people are saying ICC though. You shadow. Oh, we have a. Right. All right, we're gonna try to one phase this. Well, it is your spend not casting Mind Blast. Are you talking about the time not casting? I don't. So if you're talking about how long, like what's the average amount of time Mind Blast is on cooldown for? That's not a metric I check. Right, no, I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't look at that. I don't think it's super important. Usually what I look at is the Mind Flay delay and dot up time. Like you can parse without casting Mind Blast. But the other things are much bigger impacts, which is why I don't really focus on, because I mean all that is just make sure you cast Mind Blast on cooldown. So focus single target. This will be weird. I don't know how to do this. We're trying to figure out how to one phase this, because we've never done it before. How many ad sets do we get? I think I'll Mind Seer. I'm not going to VT them. I think I'll Mind Seer. What do you mean it's double, Brain? I'd imagine you have to deal with 2 sets of ads. That's what I'm thinking. Because they're saying not to focus the ads. We still need to kill them. I don't know. Tomorrow we will get Heroic Anub down. Oh, I hope so. Kill second ads here at 65-70%. I have no idea when we're lusting. Oh, on pull. Okay. Oh. I shouldn't be using. I think I'm still going to Mind Seer though, because I don't lose too much single target doing that. think we're not going to make it. No, we're like 8% off. We're not even close. Well, we're still going to go for the kill, so no one phase, unfortunately. We got 2 or 3 Shadow Priests in our runs, depending on who's sitting. Oh, where's this guy? And get some mana back. This will be interesting because now we don't have Lust for phase 3. Which we've done this fight before without having Lust. Cancel health buffs. Alright, well. Now I need to get my add damage up. Oh, tank's dead. A run. I should not Shadow or Death. That's a... Easy. That wasn't hard. Well, that was not quite a one phase, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, clean kill. That's like... Oh wait, did we? You guys get horses? Okay. We didn't get immortal, we got mortal. Well, unfortunately no one phase, but we tried. I mean, the thing is this, we would, if we were going to really try for that, we'd want to stack our raid. Like this is, you know, 7, 8 mains and then the rest alts. So like a lot of gear is not been funneled to this raid. The power of engineering kiting. Yeah, for sure. Oh, a symbol of trend. Oh, no, that's not the right. This, I should be getting that, which is nice. It's a really solid upgrade. Well, this was a weird fucking raid. We wiped on beasts. I attacked the wrong target for 75% of twins. And then that just happened. So cool. Soon when there's no split run. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get to that point, especially if ICC is coming out in like 5-6 weeks. If we don't have 25 mains with... The thing is, even if 25 mains all have their BIS gear, by putting them all in one raid, we weaken the splits. And we need the splits to be decent so that they get good gear, so that they help our splits in ICC. So it's like a... I don't know that we'll ever stack a raid in here, unfortunately. I'm going to say off spec for Solace. It's annoying that Horde... Yeah, it is annoying. Oh, this is the hit crit spell power offhand. All right, I'm gonna put on another video real quick, and then we can do some like log reviews and stuff after we give out loot. So in like 10 minutes, you could go back to like log reviews and stuff. But if you just want to see the raid, that was it. So, you know, thanks for hanging out. That was wild. Very, very weird raid. Okay, let me get everything set up. Well, I mean, with ICC here, let's take a look at the ICC BIS gear guide. You can do that. Yeah, we don't have the gear in the split for that. It was fun to try, though. Eat shit, Agora. We definitely have like the DPS for it in the guild. It's just like, oh, we didn't have might. We have an alt demonology warlock, so like not the best geared. But all right, I'll be back in a little bit, in like 5-10 minutes. What's up, everybody? Let's talk about gearing in ICC as a Shadow Priest. Now, even though there's been no official word on the release date of the tier, we're hoping it'll be around the end of September, beginning of October, and it's never too early to talk about loot because the loot this tier is extremely spicy. Now, if you do enjoy this content, please consider giving me a like and subscribe, as a lot of my viewers are not actually subscribed, and I would really appreciate it if you were. Without further ado, let's get into it. But before we actually talk about the gear, I want to talk about how we get tier this phase, because unfortunately it's different than how we got tier 9, which was different than how we got tier 8. So there are 3 item levels of tier to start with: 251, 264, and 277. Now you have to use badges to buy the first tier at 251. From there you can upgrade, but you just need tokens from the raid. You no longer need badges. So to upgrade from 251 to 264 requires a token that you get from 10-man heroic or 25-man normal mode in ICC. Now to go from 264 to 277, you have to get a token that drops from 25-man heroic ICC. You cannot, unfortunately, go from 251 to 277. You have to do the intermediate step at 264. Now, if you're lucky enough, you might be able to get some of these tokens, or some of these tier pieces rather, from Vault of Archivon, because there I believe you can get the pants or the gloves at 251 item level in 10-man or 264 in 25-man. So that'll help your gearing a lot. You'll be able to get your tier a lot faster because the tier pieces are pretty expensive. It'll probably take 3 to 4 weeks to get your 4-piece, depending on which pieces you're going for. And you're gonna be wanting to get it fast because the tier 10 bonus for Shadow Priest is awesome. Not the 2-piece so much, but the 4-piece is incredibly strong. Now that's actually something that I want to talk about because of how strong the 4-piece is, it actually lends itself to give us a different talent setup than what we're used to. So I'm going to go over to the talent setup here, and you can see this is the standard Shadow Priest setup that we've used for pretty much this entire expansion. Now, when I click on this tier 10 button, you're going to see that the talents change a bit. We lose 5 points in Improved Mind Blast, we lose Dispersion, and we lose 5 points in Twisted Faith and 2 in Pain and Suffering. Now we're putting all of those into the disc tree, so we're reducing the mana cost of our instant cast spells, which doesn't really matter. We're increasing our total intellect by 15%, which is fine. It gives us some crit, but it doesn't really matter. What we are doing that does matter is increasing our damage by 4% and then increasing our spirit and haste by 4%. So when I sim this, and this sim that I have right here, it was done using the standard talent setup. You can see I'm getting 230, 240 DPS on a 2.5 minute fight. So this setting is with 150 second duration, and you can see that this is simming pretty well. Now there are 2 major downsides to this. One is not having Dispersion. So on any fight where you're taking a lot of damage and you want to be able to use Dispersion to be safe, it might be better to use the standard talent setup if that's something that's going to help you live when you otherwise wouldn't. And then number 2 is the fact that we have only 1 out of 3 points in Pain and Suffering. This means that our Mind Flay only has a 33% chance to refresh our Shadow Word Pain. Now, our Mind Flay does cast faster with the tier 10 4-piece, so those 2 balance out slightly, so we have more opportunities to refresh. in that same window. But if you're multi-dotting, then this is going to be a really big pain in order to maintain your shadow word pane on multiple targets. Now, I haven't done ICC in about 15 years, so it's really hard for me to remember what fights were good for multi-dotting and which ones weren't. But after PTR testing comes out, if there are a lot of fights with multi-dotting, it might just make more sense to use the standard talent setup in order to have a 100% chance to refresh. But obviously that's something that we won't know until the raid is actually here. But I did want to put that out there because of this. This talent setup does sim really well and is probably what top parsing Shadow Priest will be using next phase. Now, one other thing that I want to say about why this is so strong is because Twisted Faith, what this does is it makes 20% of our spirit turn into spell power. But a lot of the gear in this next phase doesn't actually have spirit on it. Just doing a quick scan of the items, this is crit haste spell power, crit haste spell power. You can see there's a lot of crit haste spell power or crit hit spell power or haste hit spell power. There's not a whole lot of spirit this phase, which means that this talent Twisted Faith loses a lot of value anyway. So it does make sense to go in here because we're not getting as much value from spirit as we were before with our gear. Now let's talk about the actual gear. So I mentioned we have our 4-piece tier, and those are going to be on the head, shoulders, chest, and gloves. Now there is another set that I'll talk about in a little bit where we swap the glove set with the pants. But these two sets are our BIS simming sets, and the other set is really only applicable if you're Alliance. So the other item that pretty much everybody's going to have is the Ashen Band of Endless Destruction. So this is the same thing as the Mount Hyjal ring or the Karazhan ring. It is a rep ring that gets increasingly stronger as you get more rep with the Ashen Verdict, which you increase your rep by killing enemies in Icecrown Citadel. Now eventually when you get exalted, you get a nice proc onto it similar to the Hyjal ring. But this has hit, haste, and spell power, so it's going to be a nice source of hit for every single caster, which means since this has hit, it's one less reason to take hit on gear. Now, throughout this entire set, the only items that aren't tier that have hit on them outside of this ring are the Plaguebringer Stained Pants is hit haste spell power, and then the Lady's Brittle Bracers crit hit spell power. Every single other item is haste, crit, and spell power. So these stats are optimal for us because Spirit just really wasn't that good to begin with. Now I mentioned that this is the BIS Horde setup, and this is at 18% hit because I'm currently in my Alliance setup. So obviously if you're a troll, you'd sim higher than this. I just have 1% extra hit from being Alliance. Now, if I select this alternative set, the only thing that changes is that the tier pants, or the pants now become tier pants. Let me, and we're using the off. Fly back to here. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on 1 second. Where's my mute? Whatever. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's do some log reviews. Is it true they're nerfing the rep gains? I have not heard anything about that. I have no idea. I doubt it. But I have no idea. I have not heard anything on that. I haven't heard anything about this phase, really. Oh, am I in a 10-man? I don't think I am. Hold on. Sorry, I just need to check the 10-man. I'm not in a 10-man. Never mind. Okay. Cool. So who is up for log? Maybe practice one phase. No, we don't need to practice one phase, especially you don't want to practice on normal because then you lose, not only do you lose a noob's loot, you also lose the loot from the tribute chest. We don't need to practice. It's like our splits are set up so that our mains are spread out and that they get all the loot essentially. So we have like 8 mains per raid and then we have like 17 alts per raid. So it's just, we don't have a geared group in any of our splits. So like if we stacked a raid with all of those mains who are in the splits, yeah, we would easily one phase a noob. It's not anything to practice. We just don't really have the damage or the comp for it right now. That was the only issue for us. Okay. So let me pull up my sheet here. Sale. You are who I was gonna do first, right? So it's going to be Sale and then Alex, aka Booty, who apparently YouTube hates. I don't know why. I do not know why. And then after that, Jesus Spy if you're still around. I don't even want to look at the parses for that raid. That was some real bad, real bad. Did I get any? I didn't get any. Actually, I might have gotten a best parse on, what's it called? Oh, this was 10D. Wow, exactly 10 DPS under my best. And I didn't even get a bop. Damn, that's unfortunate. If I got a bop, that would have been huge. 9 out of 10 YouTube algorithms hate you. Yeah, I guess mine does too. I don't know why. All right, so we'll look at yours in a second. I kind of want to recap my raid. This was kind of sick. Being this high. I mean, I got some good Mind Seer value. Actually wasn't that great. It was decent though. Mind Seer is huge. Like, that's how you parse in this fight, honestly. Is making sure you're dotting the ads. And then we can look at Twin Valks. A 69 parse. Okay, you know, I'll take it. I'll take a 69 despite attacking the wrong ad for... You can just see it's like my damage low and then, oh, I spike up because I don't know what I did here. Maybe I realized... Did I swap back or something? I don't know. The whole fight was rough. Man, what would, I need to like calculate what this damage would have been. I felt like I was doing the fight really well. And then like a minute in, I looked and I'm like, why am I doing 10k DPS? And then we have a noob. I mean, that's kind of funny. That was still a 99 on a noob. Despite the shenanigans. There was a lot of mind searing though. All right, anyway, sorry, Sale, you're up. All right, Sale PFC on Mirage Raceway. Okay, oh, Northrun Beast, you're way ahead of me. Awesome. Cool. Your most recent fight is your best. I always love seeing that. Just makes me feel good. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at your gear real quick. Oh, your gear is awesome. Yeah, 268 hit. Really nice gear. Cool, no issues here. Kind of unfortunate you haven't used Pandora's Plea. It's a good trinket, but Abyssal Rune would be better. I'm like 99.9% sure of. Like, let's just sim my character, right? Let's do an Abyssal Rune. And then swap this to Pandora's. Yeah, so Pandora's is like 100 DPS worse than Abyssal Rune. So if you could farm out Abyssal Rune, I'd highly recommend it. I think Eye of the Broodmother might be better. Eye of the Broodmother's probably close. Oh no, Eye of the Broodmother is still like 50 DPS better than Pandora's Plea, so just something to think about if you want to farm one of those two trinkets. It would be an upgrade for you. Otherwise, your gear looks good. Okay, let's go here. Fail, encounter beasts. Well, that's awesome. 122 MS, 0 Mind Flay clips. Nice, well done. Sorry, someone just messaged me in game. 60. Yeah, hell yeah. One of our raiders just messaged me. He's like, 69ing on Twins better than 99ing it. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Okay, anyway. Okay, so yeah, just right off the bat, your Mind Flay clipping, or lack thereof, is awesome. Your delay looks great. your dot downtime is 2 seconds on Vampiric Touch. You want to have this be around 1 second. So whenever you notice dots falling off, just try your best to get them to, put back up. Your DP though looks really good, 1.3. Okay, so let's look at the specific ads. Let's go to your snowballs. Start there. Okay, I feel like this is kind of late. I think the first one usually spawns around 30 seconds in. So I wonder if you missed the first ad. So what, you deal damage starting at 40 seconds. So let's go resources, enemies, snowball. Yeah, so the first one spawns at like 29, 28, really 26 seconds. So you first hit snowballed 3 at 44 seconds, which means, which snowball is this? It doesn't tell me. Snowballed 3. So that's this first one. So you hit him at 44, was it? 44 seconds when he was already alive for, 17, almost like 20 seconds. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that you want to target them immediately as soon as you can. I don't know if you were listening when I was going over the last Northrend Beast review, but essentially as soon as the ads are there, you want to put dots on them immediately. On any fight, that's true, but especially on Beasts. As soon as you can see the snowballs, you should be putting dots on them. So dot uptime is going to be the most important thing throughout any fight. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that at this point, 44 seconds in, they're already at 47% HP. Like, you'll still get value out of your dots, but, they die actually like 8 seconds later. So, I mean, that's probably 3 ticks. That's 2 ticks on Shadow Word Pain and like 3 or 4 on Vampiric Touch. So there's just a lot of value you lost out on this ad. So you hit Snowballed Vassal 4 at 46. So let's see when that one spawned. Okay, so that was like perfect. So you hit this guy soon. So I don't know if this other guy was out of your range or you just didn't see him, the first one, because you attacked this one immediately. So just try to pay more attention. So around 30 seconds is when the first one comes into fight. So if you look at timer or just some way to keep track of that, just know that at 30 seconds, you're going to want to start dotting up that first snowballed. And if you don't see one, then try to keep an eye out for it, because it's definitely there. So I think that's probably the big thing for this part of the fight. Oh, you got 2 firebombs in a row? I mean, the thing with the firebombs, like, they are annoying. And you don't want to stand in them, at least for too long if you do. I would say even so, just try to, like, once you can put yourself down, get those dots. Because even if you had 2 firebombs, you were, what, like 15 seconds late to dotting up that snowballed? So he spawned at 27. And you put, so 17 seconds late. So even 2 firebombs shouldn't cost you 17 seconds of movement. So just try to find it. Whenever you have to move for a firebomb, try to always make sure you're moving away from other people, because the more people near you, the more likely you'll get a firebomb there. Yeah, so I not a huge deal. Like, things like this are going to happen. You just want to try to minimize it. That's all. So yeah, you did this ad perfectly. So it's like, you know what you're doing with it. And then you Mind Flay to refresh your Shadow Word Pain. You reapplied Vampiric Touch, though 8 seconds later. So I'm assuming this guy's health was pretty, I mean, you got 4 out of 7 ticks on it. So if you had put this dot up earlier, like once this one fell off, so this fell off at 101, you reapplied at 110. That's something else to keep in mind, that as soon as your dots fall off, trying to reapply them, which, I mean, you maintained Mind Flay, so just as soon as you see all the snowballs, just making sure you put VT on immediately, Devouring Plague on immediately, and then Shadow Word Pain is going to be the last thing you want to cycle through. Once you Gormok dies and you have kind of the explosion, or the 3 or 4 snowballs to dot up. So you do VT, Shadow Word Pain, VT, Shadow Word Pain. What this should look like is VT, or it should look like Devouring Plague, VT, VT, Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Pain. because you don't reapply VT. So like, hold on, Gormok. Because like when Gormok dies, who's going to have your VT on it? So your last cast on Gormok is at 107. You can't see because my face is blocking, but like it's at 107 in the fight. And if we go back to the snowballs, these casts are happening at 110, 112. So Gormok's already dead and your Devouring Plague's not on anything. So you want to make sure that, again, you're putting your Devouring Plague as your first dot and then Vampiric Touch on all of the snowballs and then Shadow Word Pain after that. So you're getting up your highest priority dots, the ones that deal the most damage, the soonest. So you lost a decent amount of damage on the snowballs just because you didn't attack that first one and then you didn't put up Devouring Plague here either. Is there a Weakauras or anything to make an alert or something the second the snowballs spawn? No, I mean, not that I know of, but that's not to say that that's not possible. I think having good nameplates is really important. Like I use Plater and I love it. It allows you to see when there's a new ad. So it's like, because it always starts in like Gormok's hand because he throws it out into the raid. So if you can just try to keep an eye out, because I think it's every 15 seconds after 30 seconds. So the first one comes 30 seconds into the fight, then at 45 seconds roughly. So just trying to keep an eye out. Like you're slow as fuck to tab and dot them. Yeah, I mean it's a learned skill, and once you like this whole raid is really about that. So like you want to tab and dot them, the snowballs in this fight. You want to do that with the ads on Jiraxis. You want to do it on the opposite twin that you're putting all your dots on. If you don't have a Weakauras like mine on faction champs, you're just gonna be tabbing and cycling all your dots through. And then on a noob, you want to tab VT onto all of the ads anyway. So it's like you're tab targeting and putting dots onto an ad in literally every single fight in this raid. So this is the perfect time to practice, and especially with ICC coming in 6-ish weeks, if I had to guess. You want to make sure your practice for ICC is going to be a lot more punishing, where the more damage that you learn how to put out, so like the better you are at maintaining dots on multiple targets and getting it up on those targets ASAP, is going to help your raid out a lot. Okay, so we talked about the snowballs, talked about getting your dots up. Let's look at Acid Maw and Dread Scale. Let's get out of hit points. Damage done, friendlies, sale. Wait. All right, Dread Scale. So Dread Scale you kill first. Looks interesting, your damage curve, Acid Maw. Okay. So you put a lot of single target into Acid Maw. Is this intentional? So it's like you're putting a lot of single target into Acid Maw, even though he's the one you kill second, and then you kind of swap it back to Dread Scale. Like you have your dots on Dread Scale, but then you, at this point, you start single targeting a little bit. Is there a reason you split your DPS? I would say don't. Essentially, oh, wrong target. Okay, I mean, that literally happened to me today, so who am I to critique you for that? But yeah, then I guess you know this, have one be your focus, like have one be your main single target that you put everything into, and then the other one you just maintain Shadow Word Pain and Vampiric Touch on. And then Acid Maw. You did a good job. I would just make sure you have Devouring Plague on him too. So your Devouring Plague doesn't seem to be doing damage when he burrows. So just make sure you have all 3 dots on the target before he burrows. Why not spreading damage? So what I mean by that is you are spreading damage. You have one Germonger. So the one that you're killing first here is Dread Scale, right? On Dread Scale, you're putting, let me actually show you my logs real quick. That'll be an easier view to understand. So we'll go with today's raid. So we also kill Dread Scale first. So it's like, you can see I have my dots. I have all my single target abilities. So I have Mind Flay, Mind Blast, Devouring Plague. Anything that is a single target only is going into my first target. Okay, so we're killing Dread Scale first. After that, we have Acid Maw. Now, Acid Maw, I kind of messed up because I think my targets got a little screwed. you're maintaining your dots on him. So you're spreading out your damage, but it's not, you're not changing the targets that you're single targeting. I only casted Mind Flay on Acid Maw to refresh Shadow Word Pain. And then I casted Devouring val'kyr because Dreadscale is about to die. So I was just putting it on this target instead. And then you can see he burrows, and I have all 3 dots up. So when he burrows, it's just like a free 10 seconds of dot damage that you want to make sure you're taking advantage of. So you had your dots up outside of Devouring Plague. So you can see like Shadow Word Pain kind of falls off towards the end, I think. I mean, I could check in the analyzer. And then your Vampiric Touch seems to last the whole time. But just make sure you're getting Devouring Plague up because that is our hardest hitting dot and our highest priority dot. So you always want to make sure you have Devouring Plague on something if you can cast it on. Or if it's not already on something, make sure it is. So that was the same thing with Gormok. Like when he died, you want to make sure you put a Devouring Plague onto one of the snowballs ASAP. Cool. And then I like your single target looks fine. Like normal peaks that you're reaching. I don't think we need to, and like your Mind Flay clipping and delay looked all really good. So I'm not concerned about that. I think for you, this is really just like maintaining good damage on the ads. And like, this looks good. We can take a look at your cast order. Yeah, no worries. That's what I'm here for, is to give you the details. Let's see how your damage compares to mine. Oh, wrong. Ice Howl. So I think your curve is actually very similar. It's almost the exact same. And obviously I do everything perfectly. I don't mess anything up. That's a joke. But I think like everything here looks good. You're using Shadow Fiend here. I'm assuming you're using your haste potion. Oh, okay. So it looks like you use your haste potion right after. I don't know if you forgot or something. Just make sure you're using your potion during the crash. Take advantage of that. You did with scale. So you timed scale well. It's interesting that maybe you just forgot about potion or something there. But I'm assuming since you use scale here, you know what you're doing. The other thing about scale is that this is the only time you used it. At least from what I'm seeing here. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's because I have Ice House selected. What if I do this? Okay. Yeah, okay, so you used it on pull. You didn't use it here, which is smart. I would recommend not using any 2-minute cooldown. You should not use it in the middle because it risks you not having it up for the crash. So good job there. Yeah, I think for you, it's really dot management. So make sure you're dotting ads immediately. You're maintaining those dots. And then for any immunity phases, or like, let me rephrase that. Any phases where you get stunned or they burrow or something. So like when the Drummongers burrow, or like here, which it seems like you did just before you got stunned by Ice Howl, your dots are refreshed so that for that entire time, your dots are still ticking. That all makes sense, Dale? Cool. Yeah, I think for you, it's really the ads. Like, I think your single target actually looks really good. Like, I mean, on Ice Howl, your average Mind Flay delay was 73. That's better than I do on most days. Am I leveling any alts? No. I have 4 characters at 80, and we're probably going Horde after ICC, so I don't want to level more characters as Alliance now because then it's just kind of like that character gets wasted because I'll probably transfer 2 80s to Horde and then level the rest. So I'm done leveling alts for right now until probably like the end of ICC, I would say. Oh yeah, no problem, Alex. But you're up, so you know, whenever you get back from getting water, you'll come with new logs. I mean, I think your logs are good. Like, you know what you're doing. You know, a few minor mistakes here. You can totally improve. Like, I'm not worried about that. Like, you're doing the right things. I think it's just being more intentional about maintaining your dots on ads and then like during those down periods where you can't actually do any damage, just making sure that your dots are doing damage. All right, cool. You're back, Alex. The dark side. I mean, Horde's not the dark side. Assuming that's what you're referring to. Horde's like the I want to do big damage side. I mean, they get a 5% damage increase on beasts right now, which is just stupid if you're a troll. Let alone berserking. You just get 5% damage on beasts. It's so dumb. All right, Booty, it is your turn. So can you type your character's name into chat? 'Cause I know you have like the weird dots above your O's. Am I going troll? It depends. I'll either go troll or goblin. Oh, perfect. You got a link. Even better. I'm either going to go troll or goblin. I really like goblin for the rocket jump. But if we transfer over like way before, I don't know that I'll wait until like the ICC until the Kata pre-patch to transfer. Like if my raid, if we do like 4 weeks of ICC and it's like, okay, we're transferring Horde, then I'll probably just go troll. But if we wait until Kata pre-patch to do it, then I would probably go goblin. Goblin's not going to do as much damage. Like their racial is just 1% bonus haste, which is fine, but it's not, 20% haste or whatever troll is for 10 seconds. But they get a rocket jump, and the rocket jump is super useful, especially in hard raiding content, and Shadow Priest doesn't have mobility like ever in the history of the game. All right, Booty, which fight did you want to look at? Do you have a preference? But talking about alts, I want to level alts. It kind of feels like a waste since I'll be abandoning those characters in a few months anyway. So that's why I'm not. But I have 2 Shadow Priests, a Mage, and a Warlock at 80 right now. Okay, Jiraxis. Let's do it. August 8th, August 22nd. Do you want to do your best parse or do you want to do your most recent fight? They both have value. Let's do your most recent fight. Yeah. So I think your best parse, while it's hard to remember what happened like 3 weeks ago, Oh, not what I meant to do. All named. Okay. So 309, right off the bat, like your kill time's pretty slow. Like our Jiraxis is like 2 minutes. So it's basically a minute faster than yours. So just because of you having a longer kill time, that's just going to make your DPS worse. Shadow just like, yes, you can take advantage of add damage throughout the fight. But basically Shadow's damage just goes down the longer the fight goes on. So that's something that's just kind of out of your control. Now it does seem like you get some Mind Seer value here. Jiraxis is really basically, there's 2 things to focus on in Jiraxis. One is your damage to Jiraxis himself, and the other one is all of the adds. So damage to Jiraxis is just maintaining your dots and basically attacking him when you don't have to put dots on adds. And then the rest of the fight is putting dots on adds. And like if you get enough adds clumped up, like the Infernals, then you want to Mind Seer for a little bit. I will say your Mind Flay delay is kind of high. Are you using a no channeling macro? I think you might have been last time we talked. But did you change that? If you haven't, so you did not use no channeling. Okay, good. Then what I would recommend too, I showed this earlier. I don't know if you were here. I am the only person in this raid. Let me equip my new item. I'm going to go to a, what's it called? A target dummy. Hey, what's up, Sarwi? I mean, you missed all the raids, and they were spicy raids today. We had some craziness happen. But we're just doing log reviews now. I'm just telling Booty here about the Mind Flay Weakaura. So this is a Weakaura I love. I made a video on it on like 2 days ago. It's the one with like the meme face, but it's not a meme Weakaura. So let me actually just get the link for this for you. So what I would do if I were you, since your Mind Flay delay is kind of high, I would download that Weakaura and then just practice casting Mind Flay. So your delay is essentially the time between your last tick and when you click your next spell. So you can see it was 223 milliseconds from when my Mind Flay ended to when I casted my next spell. So here it was 450 ms. I'm intentionally waiting to make it longer, 343. If you get it well, it'll be 100, could be 131, 219 is kind of bad, 118, I'm trying to get it lower, 101. But you can see that like it's going to tell you when you have good clips, or if you do it too early and you miss a tick. So if you miss a tick because you casted your spell before you actually reached that next tick, it'll tell you. Or if you do it, you know, whatever your time is essentially, like perfect 3 milliseconds, perfect 0, perfect 2. I don't think these are all perfect. I don't think it works. I think there's something a little bit off when you're not in a raid. Because I get a lot of perfects not in a raid and I don't when I'm in a raid, so I don't really know. But it's a good tool to use to try to lower your delay and get used to, you know, your Mind Flay when it's just like get used to the timing of it. I raided today and actually went a bit better with knowing when to cast cooldowns. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, so Alex, I would just sit here and like if you're an engineer and you can use the haste gloves, or you can use like a haste potion to speed up your casts. That way you're not just working with like your static Mind Flay, you can work with a faster Mind Flay, because like your haste is going to change throughout the course of a fight. So you should get used to it being a little bit faster, a little bit slower. And if you have like a friend who's a shaman who could like join you and like drop a haste totem or lust for you just so that you get some like more speed in your Mind Flay and you can practice, that's what I would recommend. I think that's the best way to get better at casting Mind Flay. Oh, you streamed it? That's awesome. Hell yes, are we? I don't know if I have time to look at it today, but my next stream will probably be Monday or Tuesday. So we could do it then. Although next week's going to be weird. I probably won't do any log reviews next week because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be all ICC PTR. So we're going to be PTRing for, I don't know, 7 to 10 hours a day. Just, I'm still trying to figure out if I can get off work and stuff, but like, they're going to be long days. I don't think I'll have it in me to do any log reviews next week. Anyway, so that's all to say. Just practice on your Mind Flay delay. Like 245 is not terrible by any means, but if we can get that down to like 145, that would be awesome. Because like, for example, you had, how many Mind Flays did you cast? You casted 48 Mind Flays. If we bring this down from 245 to 145, that's about 4.8 seconds that you save. So that's 3 or 4 extra casts that you get throughout a fight, which could be anywhere from like 30k DPS, or I'm sorry, 30k damage in a fight. So makes a bigger difference on shorter fights than longer fights, but just something to think about, to practice. Okay, anyway, it's enough on Mind Flay delay. Let's look at the actual ads, because most of the damage here is going to be what you're doing on the ads. Will you be streaming any of ICC, or is it all secret? No, I will totally be streaming. I'll be streaming the first week. So like, I'm assuming there'll be 2 PTR tests. I will be streaming this first PTR test, probably not the second one. The second one is when we're going to try our secret strats and stuff. But tomorrow's just, or I'm sorry, not tomorrow. This upcoming week is just going to be, can we kill the fights? You know? Okay, so the important thing here is, okay, you have Vampiric Touch and Shadow Word Pain on the ads. That's great. You just want to maintain them. So that's good for the mistresses. I do want to see though when they spawn versus when you put the casts up. So my brain's starting to fail me. I can feel myself getting tired. If we look at enemies, mistresses. So we had one mistress here that spawned 27 seconds in. And if we look at mistress here, okay, so you first casted your dots at 32 seconds. So that's about 5 seconds after the mistress spawned. That's not too bad. I would just try to make that like 2 or 3 seconds after she spawns. So essentially, as soon as you see her, try to tab target to her or click her nameplate, whatever you do that works for you, and then immediately cast a Vampiric Touch into a Shadow Word Pain. So that 5 seconds is 5 seconds of lost uptime, which was probably like 2 Vampiric Touch ticks, potentially 2 Shadow Word Pain ticks. So it's just something to think about, is just really whenever you see new ads join the fight, always make sure you get dots on them ASAP. That's just the key to Shadow Priest in general. I think I've said this like 8 times tonight. Our single target damage just really sucks. So in order to do well on fights, you need to take advantage of other enemies and have your dots on them. And if there's enough enemies, then Mind Seer. But we can talk about that because you did Mind Seer in this fight. So Mistress is really just maintain Shadow Word Pain. Like, so this thing spawned at 27 seconds in and died 49. So that's enough time to cast 2 Vampiric Touches and just maintain your Shadow Word Pain with a Mind Flay. So if we just look at this one, oh, that's not what I meant to hit. We like zoom in on here and look at your damage done to the Mistress. So this Mistress, you did Shadow Word Pain and Vampiric Touch, and you did cast a Mind Flay at the end, but you would have wanted to start your dots around here, 27 seconds, and you started at 32. So not a huge deal, but that is going to add up, especially as we get more ads into the fight. On the Nether portal, okay, so like you put all of your, or let me reset. Sorry. Your Nether portal here. You did your 2 dots, you did a Mind Flay and a Mind Blast. That's fine. Obviously, it's important to kill it fast. So I'm not going to critique anything you did here, especially because you guys did get 2 Mistresses. So they just, the Nether portal is a priority target, so just try to kill it. Let's reset the zoom. Let's go next to the Infernal Volcano, which is similar. Okay, so you got your dots up and then you started Mind Searing here. So we can take a look at that. The Infernals. How many Infernals? So I think we had 4 Infernals, and it seems like you got a Vampiric Touch onto all of them. That's awesome. So let's take a look at VT onto the Infernals. Flame Infernal. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to look at the time that you casted it on and the time that they spawned. So let's go to Resources and HP again. Enemies. Flame Infernal. So the first one spawned at 125. The second one was around 129. So 2 seconds after, that's good. 3 seconds after, that's not bad. Flame Infernal 4, so 139 and 141. What were those again? 4 and 3. It's funny that they don't spawn in like numerical order. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's just okay. But let's look at Flame Infernal 4. Spawned at 138. And you got a dot on it at 139. Yeah, so on these Infernals, you actually did a really good job of putting your dots up immediately. And then let's look at 3. Okay, so 3 is interesting. So this guy spawned at 133. I wonder if he like went out of range or something, because there's a good 5-second period here of him taking like 10k damage, and then it starts dropping. But since he spawned at 133, this was 8 seconds later that you finally got a Vampiric Touch on. So this might just be about your positioning in the fight. So if we go to replay, let's see, he spawned again at 133. I want to look at this point in the fight and see where you were standing. 117, 133. So Booty, you're here. Here are the Infernals. Oh, I see. So this is the Infernal 3. So he kind of goes off to the side. You're actually perfectly in range. So you don't get your dots on this one. I don't know if this was, you didn't see him or something, but you got dots on these 3 all very fast. You just waited 8 seconds after this guy spawned to put dots on him. So just something to think about is making sure that as soon as you see an enemy, you put dots on them. And if you don't see them, then that's another thing. But, you know, just trying your best. You think you just added sight of your nameplates? Okay. Yeah, and I would say also to your positioning, like you don't need to be this far out. Like the only thing that's dangerous is the chain lightning. and it's only dangerous if your mages are slow to spell steal. And with 2 mages, they shouldn't be. So like, you don't really need to be spread. Like, I would probably be standing closer to like near this demonology warlock, or even like on this side over here, there's like a lot of room. So I would just play with being a little bit closer. You don't need to be super far away. If an ad spawned and you just started a Mind Flay, is it worth it to stop at 1 tick and dot the ad? Probably. I don't know offhand. Dealscraft tells me, I mean, it depends, right? So it's like you're basically saying, is it worth it to wait like half a second to get a Mind Flay tick, which could do like 4k damage, or to try to get an extra? It probably is worth it to wait for that second tick, now that I'm thinking about it. I guess it depends. All right, let's back this up a second. Let's talk about why it depends. If it's to apply a single dot, then it's probably worth it to finish out that Mind Flay, or like do a 2-tick Mind Flay. If you need to apply multiple dots and you instead cast that Mind Flay, you're then pushing back the application of those dots all by like a half second each, because instead of canceling the cast at 1.5 seconds, you canceled it at 2. I'm not taking haste into account because it just kind of makes it a little bit harder to think about. But if you push all of those dots back half a second and you miss a tick on all of them then because of that, then you're essentially getting 1 Mind Flay tick and you're losing like 3 or 4 vampiric touch ticks. Now, it's kind of hard to say that pushing them back by half a second would cause you to lose a tick on all of them. That's a very extreme circumstance. I think it just depends on the ads. Like if it's for like a Mistress of Pain when you're going to have 1 or 2 of them, finish out your Mind Flay. But if it's to start dotting up like 4 different Infernals, I would probably cancel it immediately and start dotting up the Infernals. So I think it's a good question. I think it just depends on how many dots you have to cast on how many ads. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about positioning. Let's go back. Okay, yeah, so again, just keeping an eye out for the Infernals. Obviously, there's a lot of them, and that fight can get hectic, and like I even had a hard time with it, like 30 minutes ago. So I get it, especially when you have like 4 Infernals. There's just a lot happening. So just try to do your best and keep an eye out for them. And if you miss one, not a huge deal again, but that's what is gonna separate you from the pack if you can maintain all of your dots. Now let's talk about Mind Flay, because that's the other thing for the Infernals, right? Is that after you get your dots on, Mind Seer, not Mind Flay. You wanna try to Mind Seer a bit, and your Mind Seer didn't get a ton of value. So when you think about Mind Seer, you kind of want to compare it to Mind Flay. So your first Mind Seer here did 2.8k DPS. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's probably super small for you. Maybe if I zoom in. So this did 2.8k DPS here. This one did 5.5k, so that's better. But if we compare it versus Mind Flay, your Mind Flay is doing, here it's doing 5.5k DPS, 4.8k DPS. So if you basically think about the fact that this Mind Seer is replacing Mind Flay, the fact that you did 2.8k DPS here makes, Mind Flay would have been better, probably. But the 5.5k is a little bit better than your best, or it's like kind of on par with like your best Mind Flays, whether that's due to crits or whatever. So if you're not hitting, you want to be hitting at least, I think, 3 targets for it to be worth it. I think if you're hitting 2 targets, it can be better than Mind Flay, but I think your damage, you might do more damage, but at that point, like your Mind Flay does also allow you to maintain your improved Spirit Tap, which is going to get you some extra spell power. It's not a ton, but I think 2 targets is kind of like the break-even point where you really want to be hitting at least 3+ targets with Mind Seer, which means there are 4 targets, right? Since it doesn't hit the target that you cast it on, you want it to be able to hit at least 3 other targets. So I think you had the right idea here. I don't know if it's because your ads were in the wrong spot or if you targeted one and then it jumped away, which happened to me today, so I get it. Yeah, I mean, mana, like, and mana kind of speaks to like your kill, like your longer kill times. Yeah, like I never have mana issues on Jiraxes. But you know, your kills are a minute longer than mine. So it's like having better gear and having quicker kill times is going to make mana a non-issue. But I mean, you're right too. Like when you're in worse gear, when you have longer kill times, Mindseer is just, if you're running out of mana at any point, then Mindseer is totally not worth using. But I think you had the right idea here. Like I don't think what you did here was wrong. Like, yes, this Mindseer didn't do a ton of DPS, but I think if you can find better opportunities to Mindseer, or notice when the ads are closer, or that when you cast it, it's not actually hitting that many targets, and then you cast something else, I think that's kind of what you want to be able to recognize. So I think you had the right idea here, and I think you should keep doing this when the opportunity presents itself. And then it kind of seems like your damage really trails off at the end here. Of the fight. So I know you guys got another portal, right? Yeah, like 30 seconds before the fight ends. And then how many mistresses did you get? Oh, that's a lot of mistress damage. That's cool. You had, let me zoom back out because my face is blocking this. You had 2 mistresses here at the end of the fight. So it's interesting because when we look at the end of, did you get silenced, I wonder? What is the website I'm looking at, the 3rd tab? It is this. It's a Shadow Priest Analyzer tool that you can input your logs into. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. So I wonder if you got silenced here. If we look at like debuffs. Oh, wrong one. Mistress's Kiss. Oh, you did. Oh, you got silenced twice. Okay, so that's just super shitty. So if you can see these 2 dots, this says you got kissed twice. So at like, what was it, 246 and 303? So I wonder, so 246. So you can see from 246 to 255, I guess, sorry, my face is kind of blocking it again. What if I do this? 246 to 255, you had a 9-second break of 0 casts because you got interrupted. And then, sorry, when was the other one? 304. So just as the fight ended. So you didn't have any casts after 304 and the fight ended at 309. So you lost 15 seconds of uptime because you got interrupted twice. Not really your fault. If you get interrupted, or if you get Mistress's Kiss, there's a few things you can do, but it's your paladins can make sure it doesn't interrupt you if they use aura mastery with concentration aura. So you should try to get your paladins to do that. It doesn't just help you, it helps every single caster who might get Mistress's Kiss. You tried to use Mindseer on a noob and you weren't hitting the other ads. Yeah, sorry, if that happens, that's just your tank's positioning. That's not necessarily your fault. In order for Mindseer to be good on a noob, where you're hitting, you know, at least 3 or 4 targets with Mindseer, your tanks need to position the ads very close to a noob. So if your tanks aren't doing that, you might not get a ton of value out of Mindseer, unfortunately. Is the range 40 yards on Kiss? I don't know. Like, it's not something... Oh, are you talking about for concentration aura? I think so. I think it might be 30 yards. Wowhead / Wrath of the Lich King. I want to say it's 30 yards. I guess it's just of the aura itself, right? So. Does it not actually say? Oh, it is 40 yards. Okay. No, it's 40 yards. So yeah, if you're within 40 yards of your, like... So if your paladins did use it, actually, we can look at that. I don't know. Does it show up as a buff? It might. Actually, probably doesn't. Let's look at casts. I don't know what the best way to do this is. Aura Mastery. Oh, did he use Fire Aura Mastery? He might have used Fire for the Infernals there, this guy. Granadin. Let's look at Fen Fatale. He never used it, so... Fen Fatal never used Aura Mastery. I don't know if he doesn't have it. I mean, as a Holy Paladin, he should. So, you should talk to him about using Aura Mastery here. They tried to explain, oh yeah, do you have the glyph? Sorry, are you using the glyph of Mindseer? So the glyph of Mindseer is going to increase the range. Like, so instead of your Mindseer hitting like this area, it'll hit like that, if that makes sense. It'll hit further out. So if you don't have the glyph of Mindseer, I would definitely recommend it as your third glyph on that fight. Yeah, so if that's not enough, then that's on your tanks. There's nothing you can really do about it then, unfortunately. Oh yeah, so Fen Fatal. Make sure that this guy is using Aura Mastery. I don't know what Rets or tanks do here. He's using Aura Mastery. Again, he's probably using it on... I don't know if he's using it on Fire. He used it at the same point in time here as the other guy. Maybe talk about what they're using Aura Mastery on. Like, what if we look at Aura Mastery? Yeah, so these are the only two Aura Masteries being used, and neither one of them are being used when the Mistress comes out. So the Mistress came out 30 seconds at this point in time in the fight, and then at 2 minutes and 30 seconds over here. So neither of these two Aura Masteries got used. It seems like they were used during the Infernals. Now, if they can't, for some reason, if they need to use Fire Resistance or whatever for the Infernals, something you can do is you can bait it. Now, it's really hard to do, and I've never successfully done it, but I've also not really tried to do it because we do use Aura Mastery, is that if you get it and you can stop casting immediately, you can cast Mass Dispel, and it'll lock you out of any Discipline school or any Discipline spells. And you can then go back to casting your Shadow spells. So the debuff looks like a little heart coming to you, and it travels kind of slowly, probably like the speed of my mouse here. Like, it's about like this fast as it comes to you after she casts it. Maybe takes 2 or 3 seconds to reach your character after she casts it. So if you can keep an eye out for that, and if you see it, you can, like, as it's coming towards you, you like stop casting your Mind Flay and then get ready to cast a Mass Dispel. That way your Dispel gets interrupted and not your Mind Flay. So it's really hard to play around because it interrupts you instantly. As soon as it's on your character, if you're channeling a Mind Flay or casting a spell, you're going to get interrupted. So you need to see it. I don't know if there are Weakauras that will tell you like ahead of time. I don't have one, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. So again, you lost 15 seconds of basically of uptime, which is why your damage like fell off at this point so hard. And that's just unlucky. Like, remember how I said the longer a fight goes on, the lower your damage is going to be? So you did 9.2k DPS in this fight, but like if the fight ended like right here, let's just say the fight ended at 2:30, you would have done 9.7k DPS. So it's like you lost 500 DPS because the fight went on an extra 30 seconds essentially. Like, it might have even been higher if we include this bump. Yeah, now it's 9.8k. So it's like this final like 20-30 seconds really hurt your DPS because you got interrupted twice. I guess any questions on what I went through there? Okay, awesome. But yeah, I think you're doing the basics right. I think just trying to get your dots on the enemies quicker. Keep looking for good times to Mind Seer. I think this is definitely a good thing to do. Just try to get a little bit more DPS out of your Mind Seer if you can. Whether ads are grouped better, or you just you switch targets if the one that you pick happens to jump away from the group or something like that. And then slow kill times are always going to hurt you. So that's just the nature of your guild sometimes. Not saying you should go yell at them or anything. It's just it is what it is. All right, there was one more log review I said I would do. I don't know if you're still around. It was something Jesus. I lost my sheet that I was keeping track of. So if you're still here, we can do your review. And if you're not, then I'm gonna call it a night. I'm getting tired. I closed my sheet when I was trying to clean up my desktop. I just have so many things open right now. All right, it seems like Jesus is not here. All right, cool. So the link says your thing is invalid. So just make sure, that could be, just make sure, just go, if you're on your log, just go back to the summary page. So you just click on summary here and then click out of anything that you have on. And then you just go to encounters. Just make sure that the link that you're putting in here is you don't have anything extra clicked on, if that makes sense. You're just looking at the summary of either all encounters or one of the fights in particular. Because I've gotten that too. It's just if you aren't on a summary page, sometimes it happens. All right, anyway, it seems like Jesus is not here, so hopefully we can get him next time. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I don't know if my next stream will be Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are gonna be all ICC. So if you want to come watch a Shadow Priest do ICC, I'll be streaming probably 7 hours a day, if not more, for all 3 of those days. So come hang out, enjoy the new raid. Probably no log reviews, just because with that much raiding, I just don't think I'll have it in me. But all right, that's all. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out today. I will hopefully see you next week.